Wonderful. Hello and welcome. Are we live?
We should be live, yes.
All right, excellent. Well, hello and welcome. Coming to you live, a very special live episode of Video Ditch, the world's only video gaming podcast. Right. It's me, Sam.
I'm the only one, too.
The first and only. That's right.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah, Sam and Nick, today joined by the other special guest, the one and only Marty Moinklers.
That's right, represented by the floating creature down here. It's been a real arduous journey getting this to work, but hopefully now it's all looking and sounding so great.
Hours
We had to call the Geek Squad.
It's true.
Hours.
They were geeking all over the place. It was disgusting to me.
Yeah, and I was like, I already have a Wi-Fi hate, you know? It's classic.
Yeah. You guys piss you off so bad, turning straight into Rodney Dangerfield. So it's a live episode to reflect. We've got the man that some would refer to as the only streamer worth watching, in that if you watch it, you'll laugh instead of just having background noise while you scrub the toilet and bemoan your life.
I really do appreciate that.
It's a pretty welcome change from literally any other stream you'll ever watch in the world, I would say. Yeah, so to commemorate that, brand new, live, and in living color. So any mistakes or fuck-ups will be memorialized forever instead of edited out carefully and precisely.
We're bearing it all, and yes, thank you, Marty, for being here. It is a pleasure.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, been wanting you on here for a while, but I wasn't sure what to do outside of just say outright, just come on like tomorrow, and that seemed to work out pretty well.
Yeah, I'm usually pretty shitty about scheduling things. That's why I stream for a living, because I can't hold down a job washing cars or something.
Right, something easy.
I make $300 a year, and my doctor said I can't do anything else actually, and I love it. Yeah. It's great.
Yeah, it's a tough job streaming. As we all
it's
know.
the hardest job. I remember. I wish I was back working construction, lifting up wheelbarrows full of 150 pounds of drywall and bricks, or like taking out old toilets with mold growing under them. That was way easier than the emotional burden of creating a fake persona and pretending to befriend mentally malleable idiots and sycophants who will give me money for no reason while I fall in a hole in Mario and try not to scream.
I couldn't have put it better myself.
Yep.
Those blue collars in their Carhartt jackets, what are they pretending?
It's true. Streaming should be something, I think, for hobbyists. I think that the mass, what would you even call it? Friendification, like the making everything. I'll be your friend if you pay me $5. I'll say I love you if you pay me $10.
Yes, the weird parasocial internet friend dynamic.
Permanent brain poison.
I've been talking about this recently too, because you see that on Twitter a lot, where people are like, "Oh, I hate trauma dumping parasocial relationship crap in my stream." It's like, you created this atmosphere. You specifically made a honeypot trap for morons, and now you're mad that these morons think that you're their friend when that's all you were ever doing was setting out to grift them. And it's like that's your emotional tax that you get to pay for your little grift. And speaking of women, we were talking about our favorite girl game. Favorite girl game. What is your favorite girl game? I'm trying to think.
How would you define it? Yeah.
That's
something we're always
means.
trying to get to the bottom of over here.
Is this a game? Do you mean like a game where you play as a girl, or a game where
whatever that means to you?
Geez, I mean, we could do both. Like the new Final Fantasy has dancing scenes. That's cool that something is in games for women. Finally, that's good.
Mm-hmm. It is good to see.
Yeah, let's see. Games where you play as girls. I got to go with Ninja Warriors for the Super Nintendo. Maybe Street Fighter, but yeah, Ninja Warriors. You ever play that?
No, is it like an arcade classic?
It's a beat 'em up. It's a beat 'em up game. It's by Natsume. I don't know if you ever heard of them. They made like Pocky and Rocky, Wild Guns, Ninja Warriors, a bunch of good shit for Super Nintendo. They made Harvest Moon obviously too, but they did really good action games. And
it looks like Shinobi. But
it's good. It's a beat 'em up, but it's a little more like technical. It's not. It's a single plane beat 'em up. You don't move up and down. You just go left and right. But it's got blocking and throws and tech moves and shit. It's good. It's on
two-player co-op.
Yeah. It's really good. Ninja Warrior. It's called Ninja Saviors, the Warriors once again, or some bullshit. It's got a really superfluously long name on Steam, but that version kicks ass. It's really good. I recommend it. It's also on Switch. If you're a real gamer and you have a Nintendo Switch, you can get that.
Yeah, I think I saw you put a psychotically long amount of time into that on Steam.
Yeah, I mean, I stream it every, every other stream I'll just do a run of it because it has a ninja character with this is gonna get a little oofy yikes and maybe a little incelish.
Okay.
But one of the characters has gigantic boobs, which I mean, guys, come on, let's stop all jacking off because I said boobs, right? But yeah, there is a character with giant tits, and everybody loves. You gotta give a little fan service, right? The fans. Yeah. There was that one, the Muramasa for Wii, Total Babes, and that.
Muramasa. Oh yeah, the vanilla
babes. You got Banana Boobs Girl from Killer Instinct. Total Babe. Orchid, right?
Off to a good start, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, wait. So you can only play. You're saying you can only play older games. Is that right?
I mean, I do like retro games. I don't think all new games are bad. Like, I mean, I played the newest game I played was Devil May Cry 5, probably, as far as like actual new shit. And I like that a lot. That was my first Devil May Cry game. Fake gamer alert, right?
Hey, I mean, it's a good jumping in point, I'll be honest.
Yeah, that's what I felt too. Like, it's not overly technical. Like, Devil May Cry 3 is the like fuck off crazy technical one, and 5 felt like it was, kind of peeled back from that a bit, and it was approachable but fun. I kind of like ruined Dark Souls games for myself because of Devil May Cry 5, and I played Ninja Gaiden Sigma. And like, I'd never played the 3D Ninja Gaiden before, but I was fucking around with it, and I was like, I can never enjoy a Miyazaki Dark Souls game again because the combat, I don't get to Azuna drop guys constantly. Like, what's the point?
Right, no cancel.
Yeah, where's that impact in those
yeah,
those
like
after image frames.
Yeah, I played Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3, and I liked them all, a lot for different reasons. Like one is good, 2 had fun like PvP shit, and 3 was fun co-op. And like that's it. I played Elden Ring and I kind of got bored of it. Like, you guys played it, right?
I did, yeah. I did pretty much everything in it.
Right.
But it was mostly like, I need to see it. I need to see it all get done. More so than like I'm loving every second of it. It wasn't quite a McDonald's situation.
This like relates to Zelda shit as well, but like I don't really love open world games. I don't like I don't like an open world game. I would prefer to have a tight like linear experience where you just go from stage to stage and do cool shit. I don't really want to wander around and forage for things and craft shit. I don't care about that. That's my personal take. I know people do enjoy games for those reasons, but personally,
I think that what you're saying is correct. I think what you're saying is the right way to go about it. Honestly, 100%.
I get like simultaneously overwhelmed and bored.
I can understand the criticism, and it's it's kind of the thing where it's like that's exactly why I enjoy exploring these things. Where it's like I do sometimes, right? There's certainly a lot of bloat in the genre that I dislike. But when a world design is like compelling enough and exploration is rewarding in that regard, open worlds are like my jam. But
would you consider? So just for context, would you consider Dark Souls 1 open world? Because I wouldn't.
No, not at all. It's a bunch of
it's interconnected zones.
Yeah.
Yes. It's like a Super Metroid where you can go around the world, but it's not open world, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm. No, it's fun world is what you could call it. It's enjoyable world.
Enjoyable world. Yeah, like there's so many things in the eras of gaming, like from retro gaming up to modern gaming. There's like conventions that all got played out. Like in the 8-bit era, it's everything could really only be a side scroller, which was fine. A lot of them are good. Then in the 16-bit era, everything either had to be a one-on-one fighter or a beat 'em up game. Like there was a certain point, there was like a turning point in that era where every fucking game, or like an NBA Jam game, everything had to either be Street Fighter, Streets of Rage, or NBA Jam, and that was fucking it. Those were the only games anyone got hyped about or like put out anymore. And then after that, it was like, I don't know, the era, like that PS1 era was cool. They actually were experimenting with making 3D stuff, so it was kind of like a nice little branching out. But then like after that, like once you got into Xbox 360, there's let's put way too many shaders on everything.
Yeah, the era of post-processing.
Hideous.
Being,
I mean, if you see a single screenshot of Oblivion to this day, everyone just looks like a fetal alcohol syndrome tomato.
Wax mannequin freakazoids.
I think the Xbox 360 is a hot take, but I think the Xbox 360 specifically did permanent damage to the entire world of video games. Like, I
agree.
Not irreparable, but it fucked things up in a way that changed everything forever. It made all third parties basically jump ship from PC and just say we can make more money and develop games more easily on console, which is true because you've got a unified hardware base. We don't have to worry about driver compatibility and different bullshit. You can just crap out games, and then they're on a controller with whatever 8 buttons and analog sticks, so they can just simplify everything. Like BioShock,
simplified and streamlined.
Yeah, everyone loves BioShock, and I played it, and it's fine. BioShock's fine, but it's no like Deus Ex or System Shock.
It's not really an immersive sim.
Yeah,
it's not.
It's
very linear and very by the books, and it's not as interesting, but it's fine. It just suffers as a result. Also, a lot of those games that are like really cool games on console, if you play them on a mouse and keyboard, they get completely trivialized. Like Resident Evil 4 on a controller is fucking perfect. Resident Evil 4 on Steam with a mouse and keyboard, way too fucking easy. Same with Vanquish.
Yeah,
you guys played Vanquish?
Laser beam.
I did, yeah, on the PlayStation.
Yeah, well, it was PS3
right?
and Xbox 360. Yeah, Vanquish is a fucking awesome game by Platinum. Right. It's a good like third person, run and gun type of like character action game. But if you play it on a mouse and keyboard, it's just so clearly designed for like clunky console controls. You're just like in the Matrix, laser fucking everybody. Like you said with same with Resident Evil 4. Yeah, just like laser guided, cannot lose bullshit. And so
able to get exactly where you need to go.
Yeah, that is the impact of what console gaming did, because even people will be like, well, it's going to get a port to PC. It's like, yeah, the dumbed down, shitty version of something is going to get a port to PC. Like, great, yay. Like, Fallout 3, that was like the pinnacle of how much can you fuck up a series, in my opinion. I know people have the soft spot.
Well, what do you think about that? Because I feel like there's been a lot of people lately also who finally come around and been like, oh, maybe Fallout 3 wasn't like a narrative master class. Maybe it was nonstop stupid
Liam Neeson was in it. What are you talking about?
It's the same thing with Oblivion.
My dad was in that game.
Get a protagonist or get a character who's famous, and then your game is good magically.
Patrick Stewart was in Oblivion.
Yeah, Patrick Stewart was in Oblivion. Well, hey, but guess what? There was already a Star Trek guy in Fallout. Fucking Worf is the voice of Frank Horrigan and a bunch of and Marcus, I think too.
That's funny.
Yeah. What's his name?
No one's played Fallout 1 or 2. Come on.
I know. Michael Dorn is Frank Horrigan though, but yeah, nobody has played Fallout 1 or 2, and if they have, then they know what I'm talking about. If you want the real Fallout 3, play Wasteland 2. Wasteland 2 is fucking awesome.
Already done.
Really
good. We both played Wasteland 2.
We talked about it briefly. Did you try Wasteland 3 at all?
No, I didn't. It looked all right. I didn't have anything like against it, but it didn't look as good.
It's like the gameplay's a lot closer to like the XCOM reboot, and the writing is like very Borderlands, epic.
Yeah, the tonal shift. You compared it to Saints Row the Third.
Yeah,
kind of like it's jumping
everything
into
became dildo smacking bullshit.
And porno jokes.
Exactly.
It's like porno jokes for sickos.
That's how. Okay, so like to put it in terms of Fallout 1 and 2 are a lot like that in and of themselves. Fallout 1 is very by the book, straight up like good storyline. Fallout 2 had problems in development where every different team that was making a big main plotline quest for Fallout 2 thought that they were making the joke one with the reference humor, Simpsons jokes. So the entire game
like all
is just fan service.
Right,
yeah, it's all Monty Python, all Simpsons bullshit, like Mr. Burns quotes, like every fucking part of Fallout 2 is a ham-fisted bunch of shit, and like the plot suffers horribly from it too. Like the plot of Fallout 2 is a house of cards. You could poke it with a fucking toothpick and it collapses on itself. It makes no fucking sense. I could get into that some other time, but basically that kind of shit. And you said with Borderlands, that annoys me so bad. As soon as Claptrap came out on the screen and started talking, I literally screamed "shut the fuck up" at my screen and turned the game off.
It's so validating. Like,
I
fucking hate that guy.
Yeah,
it was. I couldn't handle it. Like the second he came out, I was just like, "Shut the fuck up!" and like turned it off. Like I couldn't handle it.
I feel like Borderlands is like could be used as a case study for gaslighting and like group gang stalking or something, because it seemed as though every single person, every single similarly aged person, I guess, was like, oh, this is the greatest, funniest, most fun and epicest game ever. I love every second of it. And it's like, am I stupid? Am I the fucked up one? Because I don't like this.
I could imagine it as being like someone enjoys the humor and enjoys that sort of shit the same way some people think Futurama is a good show. I know. Now I'm really ruffling some feathers, right?
Now everyone's pissed off. Everyone's gonna fucking flay you alive.
Haymakers are coming out.
Wait a minute. I am fried.
Okay. It's totally different. With my complaint with Futurama is different. It's that they always have funny premises that they throw away as throwaway jokes. I fucking hate that about Futurama.
What, for the math?
You're like, I want to know more about that funny alien that was used as a one-off gag. Like, but then you guys just move on.
Underutilized. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They didn't know what to focus on. Futurama was fine, but like Borderlands, the gameplay is that same sort of. It's the gameplay is the problem with action RPGs. Every fucking time you're having fun in Borderlands and you're using a gun that you like and you think it looks cool and doesn't just look like a Nerf blaster, you get a new gun that has better stats and it looks like a squirt gun or a Nerf blaster. And you're just always picking up shit and always comparing stats. And it's like, there's this sense of, with action RPGs in general, of like rat race kind of rushing off to nowhere.
Yes, like single player MMO kind of mechanics.
Yeah. It's a way to fry your dopamine receptors.
Yes, they want a dopamine hit and they want to see the loading bar increase. And like, it takes me back to the argument with Diablo 1 and 2, where like I would talk to people about Diablo 2 and they'd be like, "Oh man, finally they put running in the game. There's running." It's like, well, like you don't understand. The point of Diablo 1 is like it's like a creepy atmospheric dungeon crawler where like you shouldn't be running around. Like you're exploring scary places and it's got all this atmosphere. And then like Diablo 2, it's like, oh, dude, we can get it done faster. We can run faster off to nowhere. I don't know if you ever played Path of Exile, but it's very much the same way, where if you're not running at the speed of light in that game, you're playing it wrong and your build sucks. You just are supposed to zip around everywhere. And it's like, it's not what I like. And Borderlands also felt like just the same kind of, they call it a Skinner box. We all know that term.
Yeah, rat hits the lever and gets treat.
Yes, it's the rat gets the monkey gets the yummy snack for pulling the right lever. Exactly. And that's what that game felt like to me. Very shallow. If you want a game that's sort of like that but actually fun, play fucking RoboQuest. Have you played RoboQuest? That's actually a new game I played. Holy shit, I just remembered.
Is this an old game or is this something?
No. This is a new game because we were talking about actual new games I played at one point. But RoboQuest, it's an indie game. It's an Unreal Engine first-person shooter, sort of like a buddy cop thing. It's you and another guy. It's got different classes. It's got a bunch of different guns. They're all good, and they all are just different. They're different play styles. They're not one's better than the other, which is the way you should balance an FPS. And it's fucking great. It's really good. And it has a good soundtrack, too.
Yeah, does it look more PlayStation or more like SNES?
No, it's this is like 3D.
It's modern. It looks like Borderlands graphics, kind of. It's cel-shaded. It's all cel-shaded looking.
Okay. Yeah, good. I need some stylization. I need it to tell me instantly that it's, one of a kind, only the best.
Yeah, it's the best game. No, it's good. Like I've really like lucked out with early access games. Like I have not bought a bad early access game. And that was one of the ones that
maybe the only one who can never say that.
Well, I don't compulsively buy them as soon as I see them. Like the only one that I'm not really that happy with was probably Valheim. And I can get into that later, but every other one I've got is good.
That's the Viking survival.
Right.
No, yeah, it is a survival.
Foraging and crafting bullshit. Which I really think crafting doesn't belong in games.
Foraging, crafting games, I feel as though are the major proponents of the bloat and the problems with open worlds. Like, how do we fill up all this empty space? Oh, we'll just put like random shit, and you can make.
I hate the collectible, the resource collecting. Like, I can understand it in a game like Minecraft or Valheim, because they make the act of crafting can be a little more engaging than just like mixing two items together on a menu. But largely, it is systems that I don't
turning the act of crafting into an arduous task where it's like you're overcoming a challenge by going and getting ingredients and then like making cool stuff. That's like insanely hard to do, right? Like there's so few things that have even approached doing that correctly.
I would say exclusively RPGs.
I think it's just in those moments where you really kind of discover what you enjoy.
The only time I enjoy crafting anything is getting like the Ultima weapon or something, but it feels like you're doing something that matters, not just like getting stupid random little beaver droppings to make a health potion.
You got 3 red dragon crystals. What are you gonna do with them, dude?
I gotta smash them together. Maybe get a nice health potion. Maybe get a nice
3
piece of
goblin
furniture.
shards. Goblin shards. I love collecting. I have a whole chest just of goblin shards over there.
Yeah.
DDD Donald.
Oh, no, dude, you put yellow horns in the brown horn chest, dude. Hold on, go. Can you fix? You put the wrong horn in there. You're messing up my sorting. Yeah. That's what those games come down to. So you and your friend were having fun, and then you argue about where to put the fireplace in the living room, and then it's over. Your friendship is ruined. That's like, play that with your girlfriend. Play one of those games with your girlfriend and try to agree on how to build the house. If your relationship can survive that, that's a good, strong
Already
point there.
set, yes. We're all good.
Donald Pizza Ronald says, I'm with Marty. Sheep overplays as Futurama girl, and she's completely unviable. Talking about Fortnite, never mind. Disregard that. Kim says,
I like that comment. I like that comment because that's like typical DDD Pizzarana's like thing that's just in its own galaxy of meaning and nonsense.
Mm-hmm. Wow,
that's a good
one. You familiar with Donald as well?
He christened
all
him,
the stars.
actually.
All the stars.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Also, hi to Kim. I can't read fucking chat. I don't know why it won't load, but hi, Kim.
Kim says blocking early access made Steam store page usable and not full of crap.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would agree with that because the Greenlight program was basically like a shovelware gateway. Like so many people
it's just totally open, isn't it? Anything can get in without any oversight.
I thought they locked it down a little bit.
More discerning now, right?
I thought that they had like narrowed the bullshit down. I thought they'd like trimmed some of the fat recently, like in the last 4 or 5 years.
Oh, I haven't noticed. I feel like my discovery feed is still just alternating between like AAA garbage.
That's because you're always browsing, through the porn games. The algorithm's like, we can suggest more of those for you.
It's like a billion.
Give this guy more Sonic inflation. He wants to pump out.
That'd be interesting. I wouldn't mind like looking at a trailer for that, not necessarily buying it. Sloppulous septic tank. How do I clean gaming slime off my floors?
You get isopropyl alcohol, 99%, and a Q-tip, a single Q-tip. You're going to want to dab the slime, get a new Q-tip, dab the slime, and repeat until it's gone. Boom, done.
There you go. Marty's got all the tips.
Is there anything?
You better believe my gaming room's a complete mess. I got my camera, I got my webcam cropped in, but like if you panned it out even half a foot, you'd see a mountain of McDonald's wrappers, diarrhea stains on the chair, all that.
Right, fully Asmongold.
Asmongold style.
Living,
you see the one where the cockroach is crawling on his gut? Yeah. You see the one where the cockroach is just crawling across his gut, and he's like, got a cockroach here, guys. Oh, he's crawling on me. Like, God, I hate that guy.
Crazy.
It's truly disgusting, yeah. Episode. And it's someone who, like, thousands of people watch daily, and they're like, this guy's opinions are really good. This guy has really good opinions, really good, smart, educated opinions that I want to hear.
There's something I use as a general, like, Occam's razor kind of tool in life is that everything is relative to that's just a general trait of intelligence is being discerning about things. And Asmongold's the kind of guy that'll just be like, yeah, that's okay. Yeah, I'm okay with it. Like that's you know what I mean? That's not a person you listen to their opinions. That's not.
I feel like anyone streaming that has opinions, I feel like should be instantly disregarded. This included.
Yes, absolutely. Because we don't. I mean, for the record, like the more Bassett and Red piled you get, the more you get like an Andrew Tate cult following. I know, right? You get more of like an Andrew Tate, like what, like that need advice kind of thing. Like I really hate that.
It's all children. It's all like 10, 12-year-olds.
Yeah.
Like, Susie doesn't like me, and then they're like, oh well, I'm gonna just go ahead and assume this is an adult, and I'm gonna give them fucking terrible advice because and they're just nothing's gonna come out of it. I'm gonna seem really cool. I'm gonna seem really Bassett.
If you want to give a guy good advice, it's go pick up some weights. That's it. Don't listen to any like pickup artist crap. Just literally start working out, and if you're depressed or fat or gross, you'll feel at least 100% better.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
actually very
jocks
genuine.
Versus nerds tonight.
Very good.
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
It's real though. I mean, if you feel bad all the time and you also happen to be literally fused to your gaming chair, I feel like spending 30 minutes minimum outside, having the sun directly blast in your face, can only improve your life.
Yeah, and don't do it. Don't do it to get women. You'll just meet a bunch of cool gym friends. You'll meet a bunch of guys who'll be like, hey, cool, you wanted me to spot you? You want to hang out? Want to work out? Like, yeah.
Your life will become Hajime no Ippo.
Exactly.
Embrace self-improvement. Yeah. Being miserable is not a merit for your lifestyle. I hate that shit.
Sloppulous Septic Tank says this guy has smart opinions equals I sound interesting when I parrot him. Yeah, it's all personality substitute. It's like generic Walmart brand.
I like this guy.
Personality. I don't know, but they seem like a genius.
Yeah, Slop Tank, you're great. You should be in my stream chat. I need more messages like yours in my chat.
Asmon God.
Isn't to increase my viewer metrics either. Definitely not. And don't forget to subscribe.
Donald says Asmon God has cockroaches like I'm based. Gamers gonna game. I mean, yeah, I feel like that is kind of the brain rot like sentiment of viewers. Once you get to a certain point, you could do it. You could like be standing up and your diaper would fall off, showing your bare shitty ass, and you would have people being like, "Oh, you guys don't wear a diaper? I diaper up every day, just like Asmongold. He's based. It's red pill to shit yourself because you don't want to devote any attention away from the game."
That's why I have the DX Racer diarrhea absorber chair.
Yeah, the new gaming chair.
Storage tank, yeah. It's got a charcoal seat cushion for odor absorption. It's really good.
Yeah, man, I've shat on this thing all night.
Yeah, you couldn't even tell. You'd barely be able to tell if you came in here. Let's see what gaming experience in general of my life. I'm looking at the next topic here.
Yeah,
I think I grew up in like the really good era for games because I had like the NES, the SNES, the PlayStation, the Sega Genesis, all that shit, and then I got
Mario
to see like PS1, all the cool shit, and I got to see the evolution of 3D and all that stuff. So, and I got to play like Doom and Quake when they were new, so I had a pretty good time.
Yeah, actually, the dawning of gaming, really. It's always crazy.
You lived through the history and the changing of the eras.
I understand, an appreciation for retro, but I feel like acting like the Atari has anything really playable in today's modern age is
okay. Ironically, ironically, Activision made the fucking best Atari games. Like, if you just want straight arcade style action games, I'm not even kidding. Activision games. Like 10 out of 10.
Like Pitfall.
The reason why they're the greatest third-party publisher of all time.
Like it's crazy how much they turn to shit because like most of their 2600 games, as much as I hated Atari 2600 and I took it as like a horrific clusterfuck of bleeps and squares with screeching noises and no redeeming gameplay value, like that's pretty much what Atari is, except Activision. Activision made fun arcade style shit.
Right.
Somehow.
You know what? Actually, a long time ago, I remember going to Sam's house, and the Xbox had quite a few bootleg Atari games. You ever heard of Street Fucker?
Yeah.
I have not played Street Fucker.
That was a Genesis game.
Sorry. It looks Atari, though.
It does. It does, definitely.
It was mostly a bunch of games where you play as a gay porno evil freak, and you beat people to death with your penis, or you blast people.
You shoot balls of jism at each other. Yeah.
There's a bunch of good ones. Well, are you guys familiar with the website Batter Hacks? Like Bad Hacks, Batter Hacks, and Baddest Hacks?
No.
Oh man,
that's an escalation right there.
Yeah, no, like because they kept like losing the domains and stuff, and then like it was amazing.
Find it,
like a litany of insane, like actually made by serial killers, schizo bullshit ROMs. Like there was one called, I don't know. There's this guy Jomb. Jomb. You gotta look him up sometime. He made like, I don't know, man. He made this one called Donner Party. It's a monster party hack, and the title art is just a guy eating a chopped off dick in a hot dog bun. Like it's just like made by a serial killer. It's not. It's like unironically like put this man behind bars.
Not supposed to be funny at all. It's just like some sick freak's idea of what he would want to see in real life.
Yeah, they're sick. There's another one he did, Double Dragon.
The developers.
He did Double Dragon Battletoads. He made a really good hack of that. I don't even think we can talk about that one on the stream.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Okay. So with all this talk of like retro gaming, did you have like both consoles growing up, or did you just have access to like?
Eventually, it was always divided up by neighbors. So like, the one neighbor had the NES catalog, the other had the N64. One had like, I had the friend with the Super Nintendo. I had the Genesis. So whenever we'd come over to my house, people would want to play General Chaos.
Right. You were the
General Chaos. Yeah.
General Chaos was like the game, and they're like, "Come on, let's play." I'm like, "All right, we'll play it." Mm-hmm. My friend never fucking wanted to play Snake Rattle and Roll or Contra Force when we were at his house, but I'd always let him play General Chaos at my house. He's a little bitch.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Still,
Fucking joke.
little
But
bitch.
yeah, I had an NES, and then when we got a Genesis, my mom gave the NES away to the neighbors. So like from a very young age, I was like anti-game collector. I didn't have any sentiment of like I gotta keep and hoard and like hold on to all this shit because like my mom just fucking gave it away to the neighbor.
Right, it
She's
was
like,
gone.
oh, that's too many. That's too many games. You can't have two different consoles. Not comprehending that they're
That's fucked
played
up.
one at a time.
Yeah.
The best part was my mom, like the typical boomer logic. It was like, I remember Kirby had just come out. And of course, you know, you gotta love Kirby. But I wanted to play it, and she had just given our NES away. And she said, oh, don't worry, it'll come out on the new one.
On Genesis?
I'm like, no, Mom, it says only on Nintendo. Yeah.
Don't you understand console exclusivity, you stupid bitch?
Yeah, she doesn't understand. She didn't understand it, and so it didn't like. I didn't really care. It was just like whatever. Like my neighbor had my NES, and I had a Genesis, but I never like cared about hanging on to any of my shit. So I sold all my retro console shit when Game Crazy was doing their like traded crap. I sold all my stuff for like
Game Crazy.
Lifetime
yeah.
ago.
That's
Well,
a
dude,
throwback,
it was.
yeah.
Oh, it was like heaven, man. Like they were selling, they didn't know how much, there was no collector bubble. So they were selling everything for like $20 max. And it was really weird shit that would be like, the more expensive was like Mario 3. They're like, that's a good game. So it's $20. And like, you could find like rare, weird shit. Like I saw Action 52 sold for 80 cents.
Really?
They're like, this is a crappy game. Here's for 80
Yeah.
cents. And I'm like,
I love
already
that.
played the ROM at that point, and I was like, I wouldn't pay. You should pay me to take this. This is fucking trash. That sold for $3,000 on eBay now.
Fucking hell.
So yeah,
It's
Nick
crazy.
no awareness of what anything was supposedly worth, which it's worth exactly nothing. It's worth as much as dumb dorks will say it is. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of neat. But I sold all my retro games for weed and beer money. And then I just played PC shit. Like as soon as Quake came out, that was it. I was like, I never owned another console after Super Nintendo.
Yeah, totally sworn
Oh, really?
off. You grew up,
Really?
you would say.
Well, like yeah, and then I became the friend instead of the friend with the Sega Genesis. I was the friend with the gaming PC, and then my other friend had a PlayStation. My other friend had an N64. So we would just.
So you're
we would
still
all-
able to kind of
Right.
experience
Yeah.
those.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
You'd
Dude,
go
we
over
played
there, play
Resident
Tomb
Evil.
Raider.
Yeah, we played Resident Evil without a memory card because, like, we didn't know you needed one. Like, we didn't know that was a sold separately required thing.
Yeah.
So we just got so good at Resident Evil that, like, we didn't need it. We got up to the part where you have to mix chemicals to kill the plants without a memory card. Like, that's how good we got. And just, like, don't
Nice.
turn the console off kind of thing.
Yeah, classic
and we-
tale.
Yeah, we, like, let new people play it and tell them don't pick up the ink ribbon because you can't get rid of it. You can't save your game. You can't, until you get to an item box, you cannot get rid of that. So you just, like, fuck yourself out of a
Just
hole.
leave
It's
it.
just like a random piece of
He's like,
garbage.
well, I want to see what it is. What is it? Let me pick it up. Like, dude, don't get it.
Taking up space.
Yeah.
Put herb there, yeah.
Yeah, classic gaming calls.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm getting a good idea of like, you know, when you came
Right.
up. And it's similar stories to, like our youth and growing up. in
Well, I feel
the
like,
same kind
yeah, you guys are
era.
of the age. You guys are of the age where you would have been a bit younger, experiencing the same shit that like your older brother or dad or something would have been doing. That's
Right,
pretty much. I'm a
yeah.
bit older.
I also
Not
had to
that bad. I'm
go
in my
to the
30s, but
PlayStation.
yeah.
No memory card. My parents didn't realize it was necessary, so that's how I got through Final Fantasy VII. I'd get to the end of Disc 1, and
That's insane.
then I'd have to start over.
That's fucked up.
That's awesome.
But, you know, love JRPGs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know me. I love cutscenes. I like just watching them talk.
Yeah, the story, the artistry, you know? It took me a long
talk
time.
For me. They
long
talk.
time
I
to
don't have to
realize.
put the dialogue. Yeah. They say what I would have said anyway. He said something cool. I was gonna say that.
It is. That's how I learned how to talk to people. I played JRPGs.
Oh, Jesus.
And I'd be like, oh, this guy, he's pretty good at talking. I should copy him in real life. And then people
you
will
can
think I
call me
sound cool
Oren.
and normal.
Yeah. Yeah, Marty, what are your thoughts on Tetsuya Nomura and his stylings, his
Yeah,
narrative
his design.
stylings? Big fan.
Oh my god, I love Nomura is basically the cancer of JRPGs. Like I like every character in Final Fantasy VI except for the one that he made, Setzer. Like, and then like I can't stand Kingdom Hearts. I guess I could appreciate it from like a gameplay perspective, but like he's the guy, right? That's the dude.
Yes, that is his,
Yes.
is his big thing.
Yeah, like big shoes characters with like soccer mom hair with anime spikes, basically. I really
Yeah,
don't
now
like
he's
that.
responsible now for the Final Fantasy VII remake.
Right, and like that's what I was gonna say is like I really hate the look of New Cloud. Like New Cloud is so effeminate looking, and like his hair was like the Final Fantasy VII design is fine. He looks cool in that, but like they just made it like it is just soccer mom hair now. It's really depressing. Like I don't know why they did that.
Too soft, not enough,
Looks-
not angular enough.
Especially kitten-like.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got to be all soft, and he's got to be one of my little bishies. You know, I love my bishies.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
thinking, well, because you were around, you remember when Final Fantasy VII was like the hottest thing, and every sick freak on the internet was in love with the characters. Do you feel like they never played the game? It was people who just kind of look at a piece of artwork and like, I'm just going to put what I assume this character in this game is about, my projections
fantasy
onto this character, and
of
that
what
kind
this
of
character
became
is, yes.
like the world opinion for that, and that's
Absolutely.
reflected with the remakes. Like it's changed
Absolutely,
fundamentally
that's what
who the character is.
Yeah, that's like, I mean, you know, you reminded me of something with that. I don't know if you ever saw like the art that some 15-year-old drew of like George Washington and Abraham Lincoln as like transgender Cartoon
Yeah,
Network characters.
they were
Like
the Hamilton fan art with the like
Yeah.
binder, Hatsune Miku binder, Thomas Jefferson.
Yeah, Thomas Jefferson and yeah, Andrew Jackson all as like cool like you know, Steven Universe characters basically. And like
Yeah.
that's kind of what it is. It's like people are so out of it, and everything is so because the internet is just a fire hose of like information diarrhea aimed at a teacup of your brain, you know. So like those kids are so fucked up from that they don't know what's real anymore. Literally, they actually don't know reality. So yeah, like that definitely could be a thing. What you proposed about the Final Fantasy character design, it could just be like it's their Final Fantasy because I'm gonna end their life. That's the last fantasy I'm gonna let them. You know.
There you go.
Exactly. I
Very
mean,
good.
I think that's kind of the issue with remakes in general. Is a lack of the original artistry, the original mindset, whatever you want to call it. Just
Or
leave things alone. You know, let them sit there. They're totally fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I've spent a little more time with the remake, but it's tough. It's like we were talking about how you guys don't like open world design,
Yeah.
and Nick and I kind of talked about this last episode, but it's kind of jarring to be playing the remake of Final Fantasy VII and having to do like towers, like a fucking Ubisoft game. Like go to this point on the map and activate a tower, or go and
that's
scavenge
weird,
for
yeah.
herbs to combine into a potion, and it's like this.
They just
You know.
looked at the playbook of what can we do to pad the game out so people feel like they weren't ripped off.
Because like I didn't
Yeah.
feel like the first part of the remake was like too much padding, even though like clearly you're stretching 4 hours into 40, right, or like
Yeah.
2 hours into 20, right, in that first part. But like it was new and exciting at the time, so you excuse it. But now with this second part of the remake, it's really starting to feel excessive or like fluff, which I don't know if is a hot take or not, but
I think it might be a hot take to like fans that feel like it is a slap in the face. Like, oh my god, how could you say that? I'm just so glad to see Cloud's hair this way. Like,
I love
yeah,
Final
like, no.
Fantasy VII, right? Like I fucking
yeah.
love that shit.
Yeah, I actually think Final Fantasy VII is really good, even though I think it's overrated. It's overrated by morons. I think it is actually
Misunderstood.
good.
It's woefully
Yeah.
misunderstood.
I think it actually has a really good encounter rate too. Like you get to walk around and fuck around in that game enough between fights to where you feel like you get to explore a bit on the PlayStation version, and then you get in an encounter and it's like more meaningful. You have less party members and you're fighting less guys usually, but it's a more meaningful fight typically. It's not just
More
brainless
enjoyable.
grindy shit. Yeah. So I like 7. I think it's cool, but like I was all for an action remake of it. I think those kind of games can be really fun, but they can also just be done horribly. Like they did that like Berserk action game that was like a shitty Muso game, and that just
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Band of the Hawk.
Band of the Hawk.
I got
So I
that
really wanna
installed
see-
on my PlayStation.
I want to see more remakes of classic shit. Like you remember when Capcom released Schools and Ghosts Ultimate or
Yeah.
whatever? Not Ultimate.
They
That's
like
the
made
PS2 one. I'm thinking
everything
of
drawings. or
Resurrection.
something.
It was
It looks
Resurrection.
like a storybook kind
Yeah.
of.
It looks a little
presentation.
It looks a little storybook. I didn't love the graphics of that game going into it. I was like, okay, the sprites are kind of but like they got the keyframes of the animations right to where it plays like the arcade one, which is I really like the
I love
arcade
that.
one.
Love to hear that.
Yeah. Yeah, and they did a good job of like actually making it accurate to how the game should play, even if it looks a little off, which like that's excusable. But yeah, I want to see more remakes of like I want to see Demon's Crest remake. I don't know if you ever played that Super
Yeah,
Nintendo
that's
game.
was it Firebrand or whatever, the little demon guy.
It's the last Firebrand game because there was 3 of them.
You go around and you kill sick freaks and steal their powers, right?
Exactly. It's sort of a Symphony of the Night, Metroid, whatever, what have you. Go around, kill shit, take their powers, and keep doing and like Mega Man X, I guess you could say. I mean, it's Capcom, so go figure. But yeah, like you get powers, you can revisit levels, break walls, or like fly up places, all shit like that. So that would be neat to see a remake because that game I was telling you about, Ninja Warriors earlier.
Yeah.
Natsume's been remaking all their shit. Like they remade that Wild Guns game, they re-released that on Steam and consoles. They did the same for Pocky and Rocky. They did Pocky and Rocky Reshrined, which was fucking awesome. They did it for Ninja Warriors, and they're doing it for an NES game that's coming out soon. It's Shadow of the Ninja, I think it's called.
Like a Ninja Gaiden type of thing.
It's sort of like a platformer Ninja Gaiden, but it's not like you don't just want to run through the levels. It's not like Ninja Gaiden is like you kill the thing once and keep moving. This is more of like a stop and fight stuff kind of game, but
right.
Yeah, it looks fun. And it's got simultaneous co-op, so that's always a good time.
Yeah, fun.
Yeah,
co-op is like major selling point.
I feel like there's a significant lack of fun games in this world, in this
that's
reality.
The problem. the fucking third parties sit on good licenses. Like, what is Konami doing with any of their good shit? Like, okay, there's that new
gambling bullshit for people to lose their
mobile
house.
game. Yeah,
I think a lot of that is because these companies are run by Japanese old heads, and like Japanese old heads running businesses are gonna do the not risky thing. Like, look at Nintendo. Nintendo takes the least amount of fucking risks ever, so that if Nintendo ever does anything remotely out of sorts, like when whatever the fuck Breath of the Wild came out, people were like, wow, Nintendo was so brave to change Zelda's format. Like, wow, Nintendo took the completely like proven marketability of open world Skyrim bullshit and completely proven marketability of Dark Souls combat.
Hey man,
and
that was a breath of fresh air.
What a breath of fresh air that they took something from literally a decade ago and incorporated
They
it.
invented that. What are you talking about?
They invented that. So like that's the thing. That's how much like Nintendo will just stick to their guns and do the same bullshit. Like they'll make finely polished turds is what I call it. Like Mario Odyssey is like a soulless, finely polished turd. You know what I mean? Like there's something about like it presents well, but there's something there's a soul lacking to that game comparatively to like even like Mario Galaxy or like Sunshine or something.
Really,
like,
I felt the exact opposite. I hated Sunshine. I
hated Sunshine because of the fucking shitty camera. If I'm being perfectly honest, I think Sunshine mechanically is like fine, but I hate the fucking camera. It always feels like you're getting like the rug pulled out from under you with where the fuck you're landing on anything.
Right, the randoms. They try to fix that with like showing you your silhouette as you're falling, that kind of thing.
Yeah, shit like that. It's like I don't know if it's a lack of like good shadowing or something, but like I had just come off of playing all like 120 stars of Mario 64 on a fucking N64 on a CRT, and then on that same TV I went straight to Mario Sunshine on a GameCube, and I was like, this does not feel right. So like I'd say Odyssey plays really fucking good, but I feel like something is padded out about that. Like collect 999 million moon shards or whatever, like that kind of shit. It's that stuff that like that pisses me off. I think the core game is fine, but like
the micro missions, like you're a winner every time you open the game, that kind of thing.
Yes, that sort of shit where everything has to be an event where Mario jumps up and says whoop-de-doo-dah, and like everything is just there's so much. It's so I would like I said again, I would rather have a concentrated linear experience that is a good like play-by-play than a big let's go run around and do bullshit kind of game, you know? I don't know why.
No,
I guess I just like arcade games.
Yes.
Because if design doesn't respect your time, like, you know, as you get older, I think that just becomes so much more apparent as you play a lot of video games.
Yes.
It's like this would be cool. Like I think big worlds can have the merit if like you're in the space and you have the time to explore, but it's like if you don't have the fucking time,
dude, if you want
to I don't give a fuck about any of this. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's
if you
the
wanted
thing. I
100%
will
Mario
say-
Odyssey, that's absolutely, or like same with Breath of the Wild. If you wanted to do all the Deku seeds, like that does not respect your fucking time at all. It just doesn't.
I feel like Mario Odyssey does a better job of actually giving you something to do because I feel like the Korok seeds are kind of like getting slapped in the face. So you get jack shit for doing.
Yeah,
It's like a very empty. By
That's just empty
comparison.
collectathon shit.
Yeah.
Whereas with Mario Odyssey, you're at least like accomplishing a thing and finding a thing. Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
That's
Kim
fair.
says, "Where are all the shitty license game from PS2? I want Evil Dead that's not Dead by Daylight." Honestly,
Yes,
why
I
the
agree.
fuck not? Why the fuck not just give every license to some random independent developer and say, "Go hog
That's the
wild"?
thing
We,
is-
we could not
that's
give
the
less of a
thing is
shit
these
about
companies,
this.
These
It's
companies
too risky.
Yeah, but like if they find a company that if they find a dev team, like if they find a dev team that knows what the fuck they're doing, like Way Forward or like whatever, like get one of these teams that can crap out the type of game you want.
Yeah, I mean, Inti
License it
creates. So
out
you're
and
playing
have them
Curse of the
release
Moon
something
like
cool.
every day.
Yeah.
It's a game you
Well,
like.
I'm trying to get a deathless run of it. It's fucking.
Oh,
it's
it
fucking
was
hard.
a game
I'm
you
trying to-
like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. No, I love those games. Like those were just Kickstarter incentives for that Ritual of the Night game, and like those
Yeah,
are,
it's-
in my opinion, the better part of what came out of that. You know,
I was gonna say
Just
I've
'cause,
only
like,
played Curse of the Moon. I've never even played Bloodstained.
yeah, I've only I watched a friend play it on Discord. He was like playing through it, and like it's not bad. Like, but with Metroidvania games, I'm very very fucking picky because there's such a like saturation of the Metroidvania market that it better be mind blowing if you're gonna bother to make one. That's my opinion.
Yes, I agree.
Like it better be like groundbreaking and extremely memorable and extremely well put together, or it better like be all killer no filler like that. What was the Toho Symphony of the Night ripoff?
Oh,
Luna
Gensokyo
Knights?
Vampire, whatever the fuck.
No, it was Luna Knights, wasn't it?
Is it?
It was Toho Luna Knights. Did you
Like-
see that one?
Actual Toho? I think I'm thinking of. a
It's
different
it's literally
Castlevania.
Toho characters in a Symphony of the Night ripoff, and I think it's called Luna Knights. I think it's on Steam, but
And
it's
that
just
is
like
good?
a Belgian. It's good. Like it's really the thing is it's short and it's to the point and it's about the combat. It's combat focused. It's short and it's to the fucking point. So like that
yes.
gets a pass for me. That gets a thumbs up.
Like a what do you call it? Richter's game. PC.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck. You know what I'm talking
I'm
about.
talking
Rondo
Rondo.
Blood.
Rondo's not a Metroidvania. That
No,
is
it's
just
the same like level of actual gameplay and
Yes.
ability to have fun going through the stage.
yes. Make the game a game and don't just make it a progression. Don't just make it like fucking Portrait of Ruin was the worst with that. Like one of the abilities you get in Portrait of Ruin is be allowed to push boxes. Like that's not an ability I want to get from beating a boss. Like
Right.
fuck you.
Yeah.
Just lazy ways to limit progression instead of actual like power ups.
Yes.
Kind of like
Let's
Zelda
take away
did it,
Mario's
kind of idea.
jump. He has to get through stage 1 and then he can jump. Like
Make Mario crawl.
what I really
exactly.
want the game my ideal game I'd love to see is I want to see the game that's the fake game from a TV show made into a game. You know what I mean? Like where the guy's like spazzing out on the controller and he's like, "Yeah, lasers, 50 points,"
Oh,
and then
yeah.
like, and they're
Yeah,
like, "Level
pressing
up!
every
I
single
got to
button.
I
Yeah.
unlocked level 3." He says level up, and that means he beat level 1 in Mario and went to level 2. That's what a level up is. You know, like I want that. Like I want that game.
That level of fun.
We're
yeah.
not far off. We're not
Twitching
far
like
Yeah.
a crack addict.
off. Exactly.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah, we're almost there. It's,
Marty should play Baldur's Gate 3. Baldur's Gate was amazing
I
until Act 3. What do you think about Baldur's Gate?
I like the first 2 games. I like Icewind Dale. I thought Neverwinter Nights was cool for the multiplayer, but the single player sucked the dick. The story had less twist in it than a Harry Potter book. I actually was recently co-oping Icewind Dale with several people, and I was having a fucking blast with it. Even if the story's kind of whatever, it has Goof Troop in it because it has the same guy that's the voice of the mask. It has James Cum.
okay.
Yeah, James Cum. James Cum is in it, so it's a Goof Troop game technically. Icewind Dale. And yeah,
Mr.
like I don't know, the
Squires,
first two Baldur's Gates, my issue with like Planescape Torment, Baldur's Gate, all those games is taking a fucking pen and paper dice rolling RPG system and transmogrifying that into a video game combat system is not necessarily going to turn out great or fun. But I still love those games, you know, even if they are clunky and maybe the combat is like really didn't age well. I still love those games. But I would love to play 3. That's on my bucket list for when I get a new PC.
Oh, that's right.
go.
Yeah,
And I'm gonna fuck every monster, dude. I'm gonna get
There you go. There you go. Playing it right.
Gold
Have,
lover achievement.
Wow, I'm shocked.
Platinum.
have you played Disco Elysium, Marty? We'll
I
talk
have it on
about
Steam, and I'm
CDs.
waiting. I'm gonna stream that. It looks fine. Like
You'll
as far
enjoy
as like
it.
the whole, yeah, like the choice and consequence. That's the main thing for me with like why I love Western RPGs is like choosing to do what you want to do, and that game seems to be all about that. So I'm pretty
Right.
stoked
Things,
on
things
it.
actually
Eventually.
mattering. Having anything
And it
having
doesn't
permanence.
get bogged down in horrible
That's-
CRPG combat. So
That's the thing, yeah. Like the JRPG versus Western RPG, there's always like polarizing arguments to either side. And it's like JRPGs are not really role playing games. They're more, do you want a narrative presented to you? Do you want a linear narrative presented to you that you go through and you don't really have to worry about choices and consequence? Because there's little things in those games where it feels like maybe you have to choose, like, oh, do I go back to rescue Shadow or whatever? But like by and large, they're by the books and narrative that's just linear where you don't have much agency as the player, and that's fine. That's not inherently bad or worse comparatively, because you shouldn't necessarily want to play the choice and consequence Fallout, Baldur's Gate shit. Those are different types of, those scratch a different itch. So I'd say I was thinking about this recently of like, what are the JRPGs where choice and consequence are at least like, the game can like passively pretend it has it, and I would honestly say Chrono Trigger.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Yeah, because Chrono Trigger, like even though it is linear, it makes you feel like you're making choices, which is kind of interesting. Like that's like the one I can think of where you actually feel that way.
Well, I mean, they come
pick
pretty
for that.
close. You can kill Lavos at any point, then your ending changes.
Yes.
It's the most
Yes, you
satisfying
choose-
way to do that in a linear narrative is
Yeah.
letting you choose where it ends.
Exactly. You get to
That is
fight the
cool.
final boss whenever the fuck you want, and there's the little side quest you can do to like affect change on the world where you actually
Yes.
see what you did making a difference.
Do you
That
want
is also
Luca's mom to be Joe Swanson or normal? That kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, she'd be a
love
lot funnier.
reactivity. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's great.
yeah.
Yeah, there isn't a whole lot of like role playing. I feel in
No,
JRPGs.
it's all
not, but it's
presenting
fun.
the story for you to enjoy. And that's
Yes.
what I've always liked. That's always what I've kind of disliked actually about Western RPGs is the protagonist to me always feels like some sick freak power fantasy, can do no wrong, everyone loves you, and you do everything right all the time. Especially in like Bethesda RPGs.
I thought you were talking about like General Shepherd or something. But I
Yeah,
get
Bethesda,
the
BioWare.
that fits the bill.
Yeah.
That fits the
Yeah.
bill too. I think that definitely fits. Because you're just like, you're like regarded as some guy that people give a shit about. Where like, I just want to do like the quote unquote murder hobo thing.
Yeah.
You want to be Han Solo that can pick locks and shoot everyone in the head and fall out. That's what I like to do.
Let's see. What do you guys think of Majora's Mask and/or Ocarina of Time from Slompulous Septic Tank? I think it's overrated, boring, do nothing for hours Reddit game. Actually, I really like Majora's Mask.
Actually,
because
I agree 100%. Ocarina of Time. Yeah.
Majora's
I
Mask
agree
is
with that.
my favorite Zelda because I like the way it looks and I like the characters in it. I like the
I
same
would say
reason I like
Majora's Mask
JRPGs.
is actually the good one of those two. Ocarina of Time is too hand-holdy and boring and annoying.
Yes, Majora's Mask.
I couldn't get past the Deku Tree out of boredom in Ocarina of Time because of all the blabbering
Wow.
and hand-holding. Yeah, like I got bored with that game to the point of like, get me out of this shit. And then with,
I didn't
with
own an
Majora's,
N64, so
yeah, I didn't either. I only
Still
played this
shows.
like I played this, like at someone else's house, like years after the fact, and I had already played Dark Souls by the time I played Majora's
Oh,
Mask.
shit.
And I was like,
really.
yeah, and I was like, hey, Majora's Mask, like Dark Souls is just a Majora's Mask sequel, like, but like I liked Majora's Mask better because it, even though the fact that like you don't get half the shit going on with what they're subverting in the game if you don't know Ocarina, I was okay with that because to me, in Dark Souls games, NPCs are just morons that waste my time blabbering between me hitting stuff with a gut sword, so I didn't care either way. The dungeons were fun. That's what I liked about Majora's Mask. And I want to say the water temple is not hard. It's just everyone's can't rotate 3D objects in their mind. And it's the one dungeon in the game where it doesn't do
saying that
a
got
cutaway
conflated?
camera. What's up?
Just nothing.
Well, I was going to say it's the one dungeon in the fucking game where it doesn't cut away with a 3D camera pan, where it shows you the obvious hint. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I was
Well,
like
I mean,
accidentally
I feel
talking
like
over you.
also-
I actually didn't hear what you said. I'm sorry.
The water temple is mostly, I feel like, an issue of being a game you play when you're like 9.
That too,
and then
yeah.
never playing it again. So as an adult, you're like, oh, the hardest puzzle
That
I've
was
ever
hard.
encountered was Ocarina of
Yeah.
Time. Kids today, they don't get it. Kids don't have it hard
Yeah.
like I had it. I had to play the
Make a
water
kid play-
temple.
Make a kid play fucking Baba Is You, and then they'll just kill themselves. That game is fucked up, dude.
It was cool, man.
No, it is. It is awesome. Like Baba Is You is like fucked up, but also cool. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know, it's funny that that is something that you don't see a lot of is like puzzle games that are actually puzzle
Good or
games.
hard.
Yeah, good or hard
Challenging.
puzzle games.
Yeah.
There was that one that came out recently that was kind of like Baba Is You. It was from the people that made Zero Ranger. What the fuck was that called? Someone in chat might know, but it's kind of like a top-down Lolo type of puzzle thing where there's like enemies in the stages and you got to like switch
pushing
crap
blocks.
out. Yeah, like push. It's kind of like a Sokoban tile flipper, whoop-de-doo-dah. But it also has like crazy like Baba Is You type mindfuck stuff with like tons of multiple endings. That looked cool. I can't remember the fucking name of it though.
I have
Someone
no
in chat
idea.
might know. I'll look it up right
Looks
now.
like decent. Lo, and La La La. Is that what it's called?
But is that
Void?
the
I
diesel?
think it's called Void. Psycho 007.
Void, yeah,
something.
Void Stranger.
Void
That's
Stranger.
it. Yeah, Void Stranger. Void Stranger is fucking wild. If you liked Baba Is You and you want a really crazy puzzle game, play fucking Void Stranger.
Yeah, might as well. I feel like nothing is that difficult.
Stimulating
I don't
for
know.
your brain.
Stimulating. It's all like
Portal was really the last thing, and even that was like more of an action game than a logic puzzle game, but it had a bit of both. But like, yeah, there's not a whole lot, is there?
Well, I feel like Zelda is now kind of considered the pinnacle of action games where you can walk around instead of just clicking on stuff. Because point and click doesn't really exist anymore. Or it
Unfortunately
does, but
not.
for niche.
And what was the last? What was the last one? Fucking Broken Age or Tumbleweed?
Yeah, Broken Age. was
Tumbleweed Creek.
the definition of-
Thimbleweed Park is pretty
Thimbleweed
cool.
Park. Yeah.
There's
The
that.
only issue I have with Thimbleweed Park, spoiler, plug your ears if you don't fucking want to hear this, but it does the same thing that one of the Monkey Island games does for the ending. That's as much as I'll say. If you've played Monkey
Okay.
Island,
I played 1 and 2.
okay, well then you should know, I think.
What was it, a dream, that kind of thing?
Yeah,
Oh,
that
that's
exactly.
annoying.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Oh.
Well, now I never have
Well,
to
I
play
told you to plug your ear. It's not that it's a dream. It's not that it's a dream. It's actually more interesting than that. But it is something like subversive, like a Matrix kind of whatever.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was
It's a
interested.
groan of contrivancy. Just like,
I know, but it's like, I guess they didn't really have a way, like maybe wrote themselves into a corner or something with it. But like the game is really cool. Like that's if you want to play like a good like no dead ends LucasArts style point and clicker, Thimbleweed Park is legit. Like it's a great game.
I love
Yeah,
If you like the one with the where you microwave the hamster, what is it?
Salmon
Hamster
Mansion.
Maniac Mansion.
Or no,
Yeah, Maniac Mansion.
Manor.
I knew you'd
Yeah.
know what I meant. Yeah, Maniac Mansion. If you like Maniac Mansion.
There you go.
My favorite was there was an interview with Tim Schafer. That's like the guy, the LucasArts puzzle guy. There was an interview with Tim Schafer back in a game magazine in PC Gamer, like back in the 90s, where he was talking about the development of Full Throttle, which was the one, it's the LucasArts one where you're a biker and you're like a badass biker dude. I don't know if you've seen
Yeah,
it.
it looks kind of like Sam and Max graphically. Like it
Yeah.
actually looks
It's the
pretty
same
good.
artist, I'm pretty sure. It's like you're a cool badass guy, and it's got Mark Hamill as the bad guy, which like you gotta love Mark Hamill voice acting a bad guy. He's just good at it. But yeah, like that game when Tim Schafer was talking about the design philosophy of that, he's like, so if you were playing a Maniac Mansion game and you had to get a key out of a door and all you had in your inventory was a sandwich, you would like take the sandwich apart, put the bread on the floor, lubricate it with mayonnaise, take the toothpick out of the top, push the bread under the floor, and then like poke the keyhole and knock the key onto the bread and pull it back. He's like, in Full Throttle, your character would just eat the sandwich and kick the door down for strength. Like he'd eat the sandwich for strength and kick the door down. So like that was my favorite point and click growing up. That and like Quest for Glory, we both really like. As far as like the Sierra Camp goes, Quest for Glory was fucking awesome. You guys ever hear that one?
No, I played Peasant's Quest, but I never played like King's Quest or Space Quest.
So
or
Peasant's Quest is based on Roberta Williams and Ken Williams, which is fucking much needed. It's a much needed burn on those people because like those people are the most pedantic adventure game designing fuckwads ever. you could just be like unlock door and they'll be like, what's white key? And it's like, I have it. It's like, get key. And they're like, oh, well, you can't just teleport the key through your pocket. And you're like, grab key. They're like, what, are you using your foot to grab it? Like, grab key with hand. Like, it's that kind of bullshit. And like, it's just, and you can just die. You can dead end yourself for dumb reasons. In King's Quest 2, there's a bridge you can only walk across, or I don't know if it's 2 or 4. I can't remember, but I think it's 2. There's a bridge you can only walk across 4 times total before it collapses. And if you don't know that, and if you don't do every possible thing correct in the game, when you get to the last time you have to cross it to finish the game, it collapses and you lose. So like you can soft lock yourself within the first 10 minutes of gameplay, play for days, and then be fucked because of it. So like fuck them. That's what Peasant's Quest was making fun of. Yeah, it's completely insane. But I gotta tell you a good story about Ken Williams or Roberta Williams. One of the two was in a King's Quest stream on Twitch, and they kept backseating the streamer, and the streamer kept asking them to stop and shut the fuck up. And they eventually they banned Roberta Williams from their chat for backseating them. Like, isn't that fucking amazing? Like, you're playing their stupid game.
Did not care at all.
What's that?
It's just funny, that they no longer matter to them at all. The creators of the game.
Yeah, the creators of the game are just an annoyance.
Just a buzzing fly.
Yeah, it's so fucking good. Like, that just goes to show you what kind of dickheads they are. Like, they repeatedly ask them to please stop backseating. They're just like over and over doing it, and like, okay.
Like, no, I made this game. You don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, that's the developer. That's like the special collector's edition that you own. That's a limited edition collector's edition. Is play the shitty game while the annoying developer fucking harangues you.
Yeah. It's a Patreon, a fucking Kickstarter goal. Yeah.
That'd be sick.
Right.
Yeah.
So is there anything?
That'd be like a Fiverr thing. Like you could pay him to come and like ship on your.
Sit behind you and just be like,
it's like
you're
Cameo.
actually.
Yeah, you fail.
You forgot to hunt for this pixel here. If you go to the brick here, you want to click on the moss. Yeah.
Also, Quest for Glory, I was gonna say, is the opposite of that. There are ways to soft lock, but generally speaking, those games are a lot cooler. You should check them out.
Yeah, just standard point and click or point and.
They're
text
like point and click, but they have combat. They have combat and RPG stats, which is cool. Yeah, like you can be different classes, and the different classes have different paths through the game with different solutions. And you can like multi-class it to where you can get thief abilities as a magician, or like, you can be good at fighting as a thief or whatever, but like you get more points for solving it in your on-class method versus like other ones. So if you give a shit about getting points, whatever, that's kind of interesting. But if you want to play it like however the fuck you want, it lets you.
And like a proper like D&D kind of implementation, instead of just taking the numbers in the classes and being like, that's the be-all, end-all. No need to follow any sort of characteristic or story.
Yeah, D&D 3.0, where you're an orc shaman running through the woods leveling up because you saw a tree and you got experience for it.
Is that a thing?
Well, yeah, late D&D got totally late 3.0 and onward, and like 3.5 D&D, the tabletop game, knew that they had to compete with gamified MMO trash, so that's what they became. It's really bizarre.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Free XP, that kind of thing.
Yeah, well, like just like literally cooldowns, like actual cooldown abilities, and like turning MMO crap into transmogrified it back into a paper thing, which is really bizarre.
Horrible.
It is horrible. Yeah, I was like,
I only jumped in at 5e at this point.
Yeah, 5e is whatever. It's fine. Yeah, 5e is like if you just want to play through a roleplay campaign. I mean, if you want to just have simple whatever combat where like you can pick a class that plays the way you want and play through a fucking narrative, then it's fine. Yeah, like I'm not gonna shit on 5e that much.
Do you have a preferred version? Okay, yeah. I always think it's fascinating.
2.0, like when THACO was a thing, was what I played back in the day, and then like that's what all the Baldur's Gate games are. All the Infinity Engine games like Icewind Dale, Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, and Planescape Torment are all second edition rules, which like I like those rules because of how brutal they are about shit like critical misses. Like rolling a 1 just means you critically fuck up, even if you're like a legendary level 30 badass. You could still like trip and fall and stab yourself in the face with a sword if you roll a 1. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy because of those games. That's like,
or just getting disintegrated instantly.
That's what I always thought it was, because I never played D&D. I was like, the game where you roll a 1 and you stab yourself in the face and bleed out and die instantly.
I feel like modern D&D's philosophy is really like, you're a hero, so you're on this adventure.
Right. So you don't slip on the banana peel and fall and die.
I mean, I can understand why some people can see that as being condescending, but the accessibility argument on the other side is like, it's there,
Yeah, like that's because I'm not I mean, like, gatekeeping is a good thing. Don't get me wrong. But when it comes to D&D, you're just picking on total losers at that point. So, like, you're not gonna be too bad. You know?
What's the point? We're all
Yeah.
fucking doing this thing, yeah.
Oh, man.
People all try to be, like, anti-gatekeeping recently. Like, on Twitch Retro especially, they're like, stop gatekeeping. Let people enjoy things. Gatekeeping is a good thing. You wouldn't ask the janitor to be your brain surgeon if you had an operable tumor, would you?
If they really wanted to.
Yeah. I just think, like, it's like we talked about, me and fucking talking recently about, like, how formative bullying in some capacity, like, well-intentioned formative bullying is only a positive. It's a net positive because what it ends up being.
I understand that. I work with children on the daily, and you gotta.
You're like, Tim, why don't you quit being such a loser? Like, maybe you wouldn't get picked on so much if you weren't such a little bitch.
Psycho 007 says getting vaporized when playing the slots in Space Quest.
Yeah. Space Quest is another one that's really cool.
Yeah,
It's classic.
If you want to see the most brutal deaths in a point-and-click game, Space Quest, like before the FMV era, which, like, Phantasmagoria, I think takes the cake with, like, the woman getting ripped in half vertically by a demon and her head exploding everywhere. Like, that one definitely is the most brutal Sierra point-and-click. But, like, if you want the best deaths, like the protagonist just falling into a meat grinder and getting mushed up into nothing, or like smashed or whatever, like that.
Those like DOS sprites.
It's all dark.
Love them.
Yeah. They actually censor a lot of it in Space Quest 3. They, like, cover it up with a black bar and there's just blood flying everywhere. But, like, it always describes what happens to you. It's pretty good. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. No ESRB, I guess. Do whatever you want. Make whatever you want. Make something actually interesting. And Waxworks.
Games that bite back. Yeah, I love that.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, is there a single game you're looking forward to right now, like on the horizon that makes you say, I want to try that out. I'm excited for that. That makes me happy that it's coming out. Or is everything just kind of?
Well, it's a game I have already on Steam, but the new version of it is coming out on Monday. It's Jupiter Hell. It's a roguelike.
That's the it's like turn-based, right?
Yeah, it's an actual. It's an actual roguelike. It's simultaneously tick turn-based. So when you do something, everything else in the dungeon does their action as well. So it's like NetHack or like the original Rogue game. So it is like definitions-wise, to get a little pedantic, actually a roguelike, which is what that's supposed to be.
Yeah.
It's all like ASCII characters.
What's up?
Oh, like ASCII character, like he plays an ampersand or something.
No. This is
not
a modern thing. No. So this is from the developer of Doom roguelike, Doom RL. I don't know if you ever fucked with that.
Yeah, it's like a cell phone game, I think. Way back
something like that. But, like, it is just Doom as a roguelike. But this is its own, like, that's why it's called Jupiter Hell. It's not on Mars, dude. It's not copyright infringing. No, it's funny, like, but the game's really good. Like, it's actually probably my favorite roguelike out right now. You just kill demons. Yeah, it fucking rocks. Like, you run around with a 44 Magnum. You can just get akimbo 44 revolvers and just shoot imps. It fucking rocks. But there's a new patch for that coming out on Monday with, like, extended content and all new harder area, new difficulties, a bunch of cool challenges. So I'm looking forward to
an actual, like, substantial update. I feel like that's
interesting. And actually, I'm sad for the developer because he's releasing a Switch version, and it's his last hope for financial solvency and he's fucked. He's totally right. It's like, that's not what Switch players want. They do not want
Jupiter
a
Hell's
turn-based
not going to move a lot of units on Switch.
No, I mean, maybe if it was like a Mario
outfit. It's a great game. It is a great game, and I highly recommend it. And that's one of my early access games I bought that, like, I didn't get burned on. Jupiter Hell kicks ass, and I support the fucking developer. They're cool, but sucks he's gonna go bankrupt because he's banking on Switch being his lifeboat, and I think he's fucked. So whoops. But let me think. Is there anything else what else is coming out soon? Like, what else? There's stuff that's, like, not on PC yet that's out, like the Demon Souls remake. I'm assuming Sony will at some point, like, actually put it on Steam probably, but Sony has had a really bold plan for selling consoles. They started with the Sony Demon Souls Player, the original one, and then they were really smart. They followed up with the Sony Bloodborne Player. That was the next console they made, which was really smart. And now they've got the Sony Demon Souls Remake Player. So they got to get their. I don't believe PS5 is a real console. What's that?
I'm just saying
I didn't want to. I keep feeling like I'm fucking up and talking over you. I'm sorry, but PS5 isn't a real console in my opinion. I just don't think it is. It's just a PS4 Pro. That's all. It's fake console, no exclusives, fake console. Maybe they'll do better next time. Sorry, Sony, but they will move that to Steam eventually.
The PS5 exclusives, I think, are all timed, aren't
There's
they?
none. There's none, dude.
They're just gonna
that
be
are
on
like
PC eventually.
exclusively on PS5. That's
right now, it's just Final Fantasy, isn't it? Like 7 and
Final Fantasy is the only
7.
one. Yeah, Final Fantasy and
Dark Souls remake is another. But a lot of them are simultaneous PS5 and PS4. As like someone who is lucky enough to have one right now.
Yeah, they will do that. They will make it backwards compatible, which like that goes to my argument of PS5 isn't even a thing because they don't have an install base. They don't have a There's also a Wolverine. Well, there's a Wolverine game that's supposedly exclusive that doesn't exist, but I was just gonna throw that in there. But what's the rumor?
Right. It doesn't even matter.
I was gonna say there's rumors that fucking GTA 6 is gonna be like so powerful that there's gonna be a need for another generation.
I would want
PS5
that.
Pro.
That's like
insane.
That's actually important because like Rockstar is one of those developers that does actually push the envelope and do pretty good stuff as far as like hardware requirements and what it outputs. I would be perfectly content with that because that just means it's going to be better on PC, you know. And they build it on PC first when they make those GTA 5 was built on Windows computers and then made to work on consoles, so it wasn't the other way around. So I do look to them as one of the last holdouts of like we sort of care about PC, which is like few and far between. It's not that you don't even get good PC ports, it's that they don't care about taking advantage of how much more elaborate and better the game could be. Because people think they see a game and they go, well, the graphics look good, it's a better game. It's like, you're not thinking about like AI routines, amount of NPCs on screen, amount of physical particle simulations or like physics objects moving around. Like, what's the frame rate average? Like, nobody look at this screenshot. Like,
it's all blast processing
the pre-rendered
forever.
Preview video looks great. I can't okay, good. You can't even have a fucking conversation about it.
It's all the same forever. If you have shinier skin with more pores, it's a better game.
Yes, better game, more skin, more game. That's what I say.
Hey, those Dragon Engine Yakuza games, I saw every single pore on Kiryu's face.
It is crazy.
And you need that in your space from it. I need to play Yakuza games. They look fucking cool.
They're outstanding.
That's like Yakuza is the natural evolution of the beat 'em up game, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It just turns into an RPG.
Making Shenmue an actually enjoyable game.
Exactly. It's the realized potential.
Yeah, let's give Shenmue a little credit. It might be a turd, but it paved the way. Shenmue begat Yakuza, and it's extremely important for that alone,
Beautiful. I love it.
We don't talk about Shenmue.
I'm a big Dreamcast lover, so.
Oh, me too.
I'm all with you there. Yeah.
Have you played the Dreamcast Berserk beat 'em up?
I played it on emulator.
Dude, yeah, I mean, I played it on emulator recently. Like, I got way into that fucking game.
I was surprised at how competent it was. Like,
it's good.
Yeah, you play it and it feels much more modern than you would expect from like a Dreamcast game.
It has a lot of like zombie revenge type of DNA in it. You know what I mean? Like where it's like a beat 'em up with.
One. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, it's like set rooms full of encounters where you have to route it out for like who needs to die first, what are my healing resources, et cetera, et cetera. It's a beat 'em up. Like it is a arcade style beat 'em up disguised as whatever it is. Like I almost would compare it to like a Die Hard arcade or like a Zombies Revenge type game. It's fucking awesome though. I got so into that game I did a deathless run of it. I actually got a deathless run of that game, which was like absurdly fucking hard. Yeah, because like, dude, you know that part where there's the vines exploding out of the walls, and you have to just keep running, and if you get hit by one, you're instantly dead. That's at the tail end of the game before the last two bosses that are both insanely difficult too. So like, that run was fucked up, but it was fun. It was worth doing. I highly recommend that. It's just called Sword of the Berserk on Dreamcast. Guts Rage. Sword of the Berserk, Guts Rage. Yeah, check it out. It's good.
Perfect jumping point to like the next part here. Why'd you become this Marty Moinklers? What's with
honestly?
The Marty Moinkler.
I just like meeting people who are enthusiastic about games and like games for cool reasons. So if you want to do that, you stream games and show people cool games and explain to them mechanics and like because there's a lot of misconceptions also about arcade games. That's one of my main things is I like to run arcade games and show people that you can beat a lot of them on one credit. Like one quarter means you can beat most arcade games. You just have to learn their bullshit. A lot of people think that because in the West, especially growing up in America, arcade means you pay 25 to 50 cents to see a game that looks cooler than what you could play at home, and then you're done after 10 minutes because it's unfair, quote unquote, quarter muncher, right? Mm-hmm. Because arcade operators in the West would always crank the dips up to max, put it to max difficulty, just to fuck you over and get your money. But like breaking those games down, learning them, and actually like figuring out strategies to win them is fun as hell. I like to share that with people. I've met most of my friends that I'm like friends with. Like we met through Twitch. Yeah. I wouldn't even be here right now if I didn't stream. So like,
it's true. Like I randomly saw his thing, and I was like, wow, this is actually I'm laughing, which has never happened before on any stream. And I think you were playing like Metal Slug or something I actually was interested in.
I appreciate that a lot. Like that's all I want is I want to provide. I also like comedy. I like to do like. I like comedy the same way like Judge and you and Sam like comedy. And streaming is a good way to soapbox and test out shit and come up with stuff. And gives you something to, think of to say bullshit to people. So it's fun. Yeah. And yeah, like I said, all my friend group is like dudes that I've known from streaming back when like livestream.com was a thing back in like the 2000s. So that's where I met most of the people I'm still like really good friends with to this day. So it's good. Got a good group, good chat. My chat, I'm like so fucking blessed to have a good chat of smart people. Anyone that sucks gets completely fucked off out of the community immediately. Like, I'll say something. Yeah, I love it too. And like my favorite thing recently I've noticed is every time I say something really rotten or fucked up, I get a follow alert. Like it's happening. Like I don't know what's going on, but like every time I do like a good rant about something, and it's kind of like oofy yikes, it'll be like follow alert, thanks for the follow kind of thing. Like right afterwards.
Yeah, Rodney Dangerfield too.
Exactly, and you got to remember, Andrew Dice Clay became a thing because of Rodney Dangerfield. And you think Rodney Dangerfield humor is like pretty tame, but it's not. Like Rodney Dangerfield for the era was like cutting edge offensive shit. And then like Dice was the next thing. So like I gotta up it to like JFK and Epstein and Bill Grapes from Micro $ Oft is putting 5G in my arm. Yeah, Bill Grapes is making chemtrails. I don't trust them. Sorry, okay. I used to work with a coworker that whenever he'd write Microsoft, he'd put a money sign instead of the S. It was like really edgy and badass and cool of him. He was like so subversive when he did that. Or he'd do M $ MS. So it's micro money off. Is how micro money off is definitely micro dollars off. I don't know, however you want to say it, but. That Bill Gray, he wants to put 5G right in your arm with his Obamacare chemtrails.
Stock keeps going up. Every G is a new $.
Every G is your gayer too. It's more G's for more. It turns you gayer like a frog.
You buy what you need.
Total endocrine disruption. Penis in mouth now. Switch flip.
Oh shit.
Oh my god.
Say what?
Remember
what projects have I worked on?
Yeah, Remember a Game.
Remember a Game is really just so I work with a guy that's also from this community, sort of K-Mills. He's my editor, and we make that web series Remember a Game, which I fucking love because did I tell you the inspiration for Remember a Game?
Wasn't like the first like a really disgusting? Go ahead.
Yeah, it was a disgusting video I found. It was this guy called You Can Win Video Games or something, and like. It's like got a heckin' updudeable, golden retriever in the intro, and the way the guy talks is just, you've seen the Mario video, right, Sam?
Which
Mario is so he jumps around like my Mario video. Yeah, the first Remember a Game.
I watched them all today in preparation for this interview.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Well, I was gonna say great. Yeah, I appreciate that. Like, I put my fucking heart into those, so I hope people like them. The Mario one where I was doing that voice and being obnoxious, that was only based on that fucking You Can Win video.
Okay, I was going to say because
it's radically different from the rest.
The second video, the voice
I just
completely changed. I thought you were sick or you were younger in the first video.
No,
I'm
it
like,
hurt
oh,
my throat really bad to do that first episode. Like
That's
my throat
very
hurt for like a
funny.
week after it. Yeah, like
okay,
yeah,
that
that
explains
episode
a
was,
lot,
yeah.
actually.
Yeah, it was solely inspired by that shithead that made the You Can Win games,
Yeah.
because he goes, here's the beginning of his video. I clicked on it just to see how much I hate. I knew I would hate it going into it. I clicked on it. It was You Can Beat Video Games in Mega Man 3, and it said, is Mega Man 3 the best Mega Man game ever? I'm like, immediately want to smash your head with a cinder block. Okay. Like, dude, nothing.
Okay.
And that's why I said at the beginning of the Earthbound video, like, don't you love like rhetorical bullshit questions? Like,
Yes.
at the start of a video to force engagement. Like, isn't that fun? You can rush to the comment section and without watching it and reply to the first 10 seconds of the video.
Idiot. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. If you think this, you're fucking stupid. But yeah, like, so yeah, I really do. I want to do more with Member of Game. I need like, I don't know, like I need to not hold myself to as high of standards. And like clearly, you know, you guys set a great example because obviously I'm helping too. I'm lowering the bar here. We're lowering the bar.
Exactly.
Because if you want to do better than you did last time, it helps to underachieve, right? But for me, when I make my videos, I'm always like, how do I make it bigger, funnier, better? Like better editing, faster bullshit happening, funnier jokes. Like it gets kind of self-destructive in a way. And I've heard like you don't want to bother with that. You want to just like release shit. And then the things that are good will stand the test of time. But like my problem is I'm the worst judge of my own videos. Whenever it's something that I fucking hate, I'll delete it. And people will be like, hey, what happened to like dog shits in a hot dog bun? I love that video. I'm like, I fucking hated that video. Like I got rid of it because it sucked. They're like, no, that was your best video.
Yeah.
Like, oh, thanks. Okay.
That's a good thing to mention. I think your top video right now is like Ashley Resident Evil 4
Ashley
Boo
Boo
Machine.
Yeah, it's like 3 seconds, 30 seconds.
It's a 3-second long video of the scene where they're removing the plagas from Ashley's torso in Resident Evil 4. I have her in the alternate outfit, so she's in like the
pop
whatever,
star,
like
yeah.
She's in the booby blaster's top, and the X-ray machine zooms in on her boobs, and then it cuts to the weird science footage of the boobs expanding in the CGI model, and it makes like the squish noise from Resident Evil when it does it. And all the comments are, please, how is this woman, please?
I love how there's so much explanation for a 3-second clip.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't know what I was getting into when I made it. I just wanted a video called Ashley Boob Machine.
But I mean,
It's my
I
top
think that
viewed
kind of
video by a lot.
that
This
kind of
is funny.
circles back to what you were saying about like, you know, you're judging your own work and you're not putting anything out. But in all seriousness, you know, as people who do this shit, like I always feel like done is better than perfect, right? Like finished is always going to be better than perfect, and I think that's a totally healthy mindset to have.
You're
Certainly,
so fucking
yeah.
right, and I
When doing
realized
this
that
shit.
recently on the new Remember of Game. I'm making a Billy Mitchell episode so I can get sued.
Oh no.
And
There you go.
I'm literally going to start the video. I'm literally going to start the video with, hello, you absolute legends. Billy did it. Billy Mitchell did it. That's going to be the first 2 lines. Anyway, but you're right, though. Like, I was trying to think of an ending for this video because I have all this buildup and all this insane crap. And, like, I have all these assets, like Photoshops of Billy on Epstein Island, accusations, like,
Oh my god.
I'm going to say Billy did 9/11. Like, I'm going all out, right? And
Yes.
I'm like, how do I end this? And I realized here's a little preview. One part of it is the ending. I'm just going to give Billy a rating out of 10, like he's a video game. I'm going to say, Billy
There
did
you
an
go.
8.5.
Yeah. And that's why, yeah.
Yeah, great hair. Like, just end it. Just who cares? Done is better than perfect. You're so
7
fucking
out
right.
of 10
about that.
gamer.
Exactly. Yeah. And
You want to hear the intro for that? Do you want to hear the intro for the Billy video? Like,
Yeah,
I
lay it on
it's
me.
short. Well, okay. I'll do it in the nerd. Arcade game. One of the games ever played, but which one has the most? That's right, King Kong. Nintendo's Brown Bomber didn't get his start in the country, though. He was right there from the beginning, and ever since, he's been a household legend. But despite his humble beginnings, Nintendo's arcade game character has been subject of debate, controversy, and even scandals, and it all comes down to who's got the most points. After some research, the game scores are still a mystery. Who's the highest? This highly contested competition is still blazing its destructive path through the gaming community to this day and ruining lives thanks to false allegations, frivolous and overly litigious lawsuits, and more. But what if I told you one of the most famous and well-known arcade game players in history was a personal aide to Adolf Hitler and an illegal drug-abusing sex offender that perpetrated 9/11? And then it plays the intro. So there you go. That's going to be the intro. Yeah, that's going to be the intro to the Billy Mitchell episode.
Oh my god.
Oh,
I can
I'm
see it.
excited.
I think
Yeah,
you really
I'm
got
trying-
down the brain rot, just endless content slop. Keep making stupid trivia video affectations and intro.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
Like
That's
the
literally. I
8
hope
billion mindless how this speedrunner discovered glitch hopping.
so many small, so
3
many
hour
small
long
videos.
video.
Yeah. I hope one day when I die, there's an AI of me that can just make this crap endlessly. That's the one hope I have.
Oh yeah, you're gonna create a model. You know, it's gonna study all the content
Yeah.
you've made and be like, okay, I've cracked the code.
The new anti-humor, anti-slop,
Exactly.
full grain fed,
And it's posed law too, so the
abomination.
idiots will click on it. The idiots will still click on it, and I'll still get their money, but
Yeah.
it'll also be
I feel like
ironic.
you should anticipate people commenting like, "How could you say that stuff about Billy? He did cheat at Donkey Kong." Just
Yeah,
completely
you don't even
disregard
do-
all the other allegations. Like he did cheat at Donkey Kong.
Yeah, yeah. The only thing that he did. What are you
Fixate
talking
on
about?
that.
I saw
Yeah.
other
gonna
YouTubers
say-
say he did. I know he did because they told me so.
I'm gonna say that he did 9/11, but he did it on MAME. He did it on emulator.
Miami, yeah.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it doesn't
It doesn't
count
count.
still.
Oh shit, yeah. It was
Well, like, you don't even-
practice.
Yeah. He was simulating it. Like you can't. Well, one thing I was gonna say is you don't even have to go that far. If you want to get good YouTube comments of infinite morons, just call like Super Nintendo 8-bit once. Just do that one time, and there you go. You got 3 clicks forever.
Oh my god.
Dude, I did a thing like that on Twitter once. I said 16:9, stretching retro games to 16:9 is better because you get to see more and you can
More
see more stuff
pixels.
coming in Mario. You can see more stuff coming in Mario sooner, so it makes it better. And like someone saw that
Someone
and
just
posted it on
jumped.
Reddit. Yeah, someone saw that on Reddit and they had like it was like 100 comments of like this guy needs to kill himself now. Like, it was fucking great. It was really good.
It's so
Oh,
insane. I love
that's so
it.
funny.
Yeah,
It is-
and I did the Game Boy Color version of Super Mario DX that's like completely cropped and fucked. I was like, here it is at 4:3. You can't see anything. And then I went to Lost Levels Mario one or like All Stars Mario one where it's completely different graphics. Stretched it to 16:9. Said, isn't that better? Like, isn't that nice? Yes, good fun. Good fun,
That's
man.
good.
Oh man, I love seeing people being annoying. You know what I mean? You know how sometimes life is going too nicely, like, oh, I'm too happy, I have too many smiles, I need to make myself pissed off and angry.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta look at people having
I'll go on
different
Twitter.
opinions to piss you off on purpose.
Yeah,
Yeah,
hey.
now I feel good. Now I feel good and riled.
It's called, I think Bill Hicks coined the term. He calls it hate cameling. You go to fill up your camel hump full of hate and then you retire, back. Like, I like that little phrase. But that's what it is. Like, you have to fill up on hate. And it's not good. It's not good for you to do that, but it's the same as your need to, like, drink water or jack off periodically, Or
Right.
constantly.
Human instincts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a thing you need is to hate things.
Yeah,
And I
it's like,
hate them because they're different and they're over there and I'm over here.
it's kind of like Schadenfreude, but without any mirth or joy involved. I feel like Marty, you like video games, right? You're a fan.
I love them. They're
Would
great.
you
They're
would you
fun.
say that you hate video games because you like them? Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like
It's
you
really
have
like
such a
culture.
strong love for video games, such a strong like idea of how a game should be that when you see something that's like an abomination or something that's not right, it's
Yeah,
like
even something
physically
that comes
painful.
close. Even something that comes close but misses the point in a key way is as frustrating almost as an abomination. Yeah.
Yes. I
It's
think,
like you missed the fucking point.
I think that's kind of permanently affected all three of us.
I think so. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I think that's as lifelong gamers, all three of us. I think our brains have been completely corrupted in some sort of way.
Yeah. We got
True.
spoiled on good games and then we watched the decline, but then we have hope still of something good. And then sometimes good stuff happens, but then stupid shit happens.
Right, like 5 good games coming out. You're like, oh, things are fine. Ignore the like 5,000 shovelware, dog shit, garbage, top sellers on Steam.
It's tough. I feel like part of you wants to adapt with the times and recognize.
Not really.
Like, but you have to, because like that's just survival is adapting and recognizing that things are changing, and it sucks.
I don't know. I feel like it's.
But then it's completely fine to hold on to all of like us.
I think it's
reminiscing about
one point to
this
like
age.
to swear off
Try
like
out the
triple A.
first-
Yeah. Like
That's the thing is I don't even swear off AAA entirely. Like people will be like, "What's one of the best games I've ever made?" I'll be like, "Call of Duty: Modern Warfare 2." Like fuck you. They'll be like, "Oh, Call of Duty, Jay." Like fuck you, dude.
Yeah,
like, that
but I'm
game
saying
rocks.
that's
That
like a
game is
decade
amazing.
ago, though, right? You're talking about the one for a 360.
No, but like in general, AAA games being like, oh, you know, AAA games were always cynical cash grabs. They were always bad. Like some of the fucking coolest games are like huge studios that got billions of fucking dollars to make a game. Like
I agree.
it's not
Yeah.
inherently bad because it's not 8 guys on an indie team, you know?
Right. I mean, I think Nintendo is still capable of making good games, and out of all three,
sure.
the
Dude,
three of them,
yeah.
they're the only ones that really even tried to make anything worth playing. Sony
That's the thing. If I was
used
gonna
to
own,
try.
if I was gonna own a console, which I don't, but if I was, I would buy a Switch because it's got the most console video games, like air quotes.
Yes,
On
actual
it. The rest of the shit
reasons.
that I can get on Steam in a year, literally. Like every other thing on every other console is a thing that's going to come to Steam eventually. Everything on Switch is like a thing
Yeah.
like even like something simple like do you remember that like XCOM knockoff they made with it was Mario XCOM?
Oh yeah, the
and
Mario
Rabbids?
Rabbids.
Yeah, the Rabbids and Mario XCOM. Like I almost bought a Switch for that because I'm an XCOM junkie. Like it looked fine.
Hell yeah.
But, like I just wanted to play it, and I was like, "Fuck it, I like XCOM. This looks fine." I hate the Rabbids too. I fucking hate them, but I would still play it.
I was
'cause
gonna
it's
say.
XCOM bullshit.
Yeah, I've heard that game is actually shockingly
Surprisingly
good.
competent.
Like a
Yeah, I
very
watched
good
a stream
XCOM
of it. I
clone.
watched a stream of it and wanted to buy a Switch. I was like, "Damn, this looks good. Like, I wanna play this." So, like, I'm not, I don't play favorites with anything. I just stick to what I know. And for me, PC, and then if something turns my head because it actually is a console game, which like after the Xbox, this is like what I was saying. After the Xbox 360 era, almost every like 90% of console releases are, hey, look, a thing that sucks a dick because it's on a console and would have only been better on PC. Look at that. Like, look at that. Fallout 3, Bioshock, like even New Vegas, like tons of shit suffered and could have just been better on PC. But that's not where the money's at. So I don't hold the third parties. Like, I'm not going to be like, oh, you fucking assholes. Like, you think that like a software development team doesn't want to have a unified platform where they don't have to worry about like compatibility issues and can make a simpler thing and make money? Like, of course they're gonna fucking do that. It's not a question. That was just the way it moved in Xbox. I guess like even then I can't even hate Xbox specifically because someone would have done it. I guess that was just an inevitability of video games was it was going to become a dumbed down box with worse versions of everything.
Yeah, that weird period of kind of game death, where
Take a thing that would have like the thing that already existed, like Morrowind already existed, and you know what it was? A lot of it was the first Xbox got a shitload of PC ports. I don't know if you remember that, but like
more on Xbox like unplayable.
Yeah, exactly. Max Payne 1 and 2, horrible ports. Morrowind, absolutely miserable port. Like there was a million fucking games on Xbox, the original one, that were just bad PC ports. So how did they fix that? All the goddamn third parties jumped ship and just made the shittier games.
On console first, yeah.
Man, that sucks. Like,
interesting.
I don't like that. I was hoping for a while that Valve was going to be the big savior of like, what's a unified platform with a gaming OS for PC users that's going to be the end all be all. And like Valve for a long time was working with Linux to like optimize their games. They got the source engine running on Linux with like custom made OpenGL or Vulkan drivers.
Steam OS, the Steam Deck
yeah, they
stuff.
had like that's what I was hoping for was Steam OS was going to be a fully like Linux based OS with like good optimized drivers because that's like a huge issue with Linux.
That's what I'm recording this on right now.
Yeah, incredibly.
I hope it's Ubuntu, dude. But like. I was gonna say like that they got Source Engine running better even on Linux. They got higher frame rates, better like so it was like, oh cool, this is gonna be a thing and then that was like 6-7 years ago and there's nothing since. So like maybe I think they kind of canned that. They shit canned that and just said Steam Deck, fuck it. Which the Steam Deck is like a mid-tier laptop with controls built in, which is fine, it's whatever, but it's not what I wanted.
I think that Steam OS is completely sidelined, or it really only exists as a Steam Deck operating system. Like that's the only the only time they're going to release anything new is if it benefits the Steam Deck. So yeah, making it a mass market like usable open source program is no longer what they're going for.
That's the thing. It's the same thing as consoles. It's a fucking unified hardware box. So it always comes down to that. There's no one size fits all solution unless there's a one size fits all solution.
That's kind of the obnoxious thing because the Steam Deck, the whole point was that you could play any Windows game with the Proton fix and the Steam OS bullshit. Like I can play pretty much any game that would never work on Linux now just magically works if you play it on the Steam Deck. Even games that are not from Steam, you just put it through Steam and you activate the Proton, whatever the fuck. It just works instantly. It's very, very odd that they haven't spread it out, actually.
Yeah, like where is that? I've heard the Proton compatibility is not super optimized is the problem, so it's not. That's like a band-aid for an issue. It's not going to run as well with a Proton workaround fix than it would if it had, like I said, like really good driver support and optimized for Linux game engine codes, which like it's just asking too much.
Let's see. Kim says Linux is more usable since the Steam Deck. Come on, Kim. I already said that. Keep up.
Well, also, like, that's another thing about console games, why they're compared to the Switch, which like is an ARM platform. Every console now is a unified x64 architecture, so they're literally just exclusivity boxes. They are license exclusivity boxes. End of story.
All the same, you're saying?
It's the same fucking C++ or C# shit that's all x64. Yeah, and they're all using licensed engines that are the same on everything. Like fucking forever they've been using either idTech or Unreal or whatever, and it's just there's no
Unreal 5,
there's no delineating factor besides who owns what license. That's it. What box plays what licensed property?
Who gets to play Fortnite?
I just want to know when I get to sit my white ass down and play as a black woman, you know? That's what I want to know.
Open up Fortnite, you have a 1 in 10 chance, I believe, of getting it right out the gate.
You just spawn with that unlocked. That's fucking awesome.
I saw online that there were people, I know you don't care for the Steam Deck, but they were saying, I can't get one because you can't play Fortnite on it. It's worthless because I can't access Fortnite on the Steam Deck. What do you think about that?
How big of a caliber of a gun do I want to shoot them in the head with?
You're not a big Fortnite fan, Marty. Is that what I'm getting here?
I think that if it's like the be-all, end-all, that's the issue. If it's like literally all you care about.
Yeah, I mean, that's insane. Like, Battle Royale games are literally gambling bullshit for everyone to be a winner with. That's all they ever were. It's never actually a test of skill. It's if I play this crap enough times, it will matchmake me against a guy that's playing
who's worse.
He's quadriplegic and he's playing with voice commands, and I'll just walk behind him and shoot him, and then I win. And I'll say, "Victory Royale, chicken winner."
Yeah. Finally, something we agree on.
I don't know,
like those Battle Royale games, like. That's a plan, and it really sucks because to me, like the best FPS is like the arena. The arena FPS are like the free for all deathmatch or the 1v1 type of shit, and like
so you like
Fortnite,
Quake and like Unreal Tournament.
Yeah, Quake, shit. Unreal 99, Unreal 3 Black, Quake 1. Quake 1 was one of my most played games when I had my desktop. Still, I literally had like a version of it with like shadow maps and cool like post-processing effects, and would just play Quake and be like, "This is fucking great." Like, I love Quake. I could just play Quake every day, and it's the best game. But now these new arena shooters, like I understood DayZ because it was different. It was kind of like it was almost like a take on like a Tom Clancy thing in an open world type of deal. That's what it started as. But DayZ sort of like shifted into PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
Right. Like
the DayZ Arma dudes became the dudes that were the PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds dudes, and then the PUBG dudes are just like they're just playing PUBG, and then that like begat all the other shit pretty much, and it's all really just a pull the lever, do I win? That's what it is. My friend came up with a friend of mine, villain_V on Twitch. He's fucking hilarious. One of the funniest people I've ever met. He came up with the best idea. He calls it Lobby Royale. And what it is you go to the lobby and you sit in the lobby with 64 other people, and then everyone leaves. And if you're the last one in the lobby, you win, and then you go to the next lobby, and it does the same thing. Lobby Royale does. It cuts out all the boring gameplay part and makes you feel like a winner. So
it's straight to the victory. Get the dopamine hit immediately. You know, you might be onto something here.
Yeah, why bother with all that pesky shooting? You might lose.
We're gonna call Cliff Blazinski right now. Yeah, right. I don't imagine anything worse than that.
Cliff is a weird fucko, but he has some good ideas for FPS games.
Cliffy B.
Yeah, Cliffy B. I mean, he made some decent Unreal Tournament maps, and that game, what was it? Outlaws was kind of cool. Outlaws was actually like, Outlaws is a good example of just put a bunch of insane bullshit in a game and make everything overpowered, and it balances itself out. Like, I always love that design philosophy for FPS games. Like, if everything's overpowered, nothing is overpowered. You know?
Yeah.
That's how game like developers these days, especially like Blizzard with shit like Overwatch, or if you see the evolution of Blizzard PvP games where like WoW PvP turned into play for 15 minutes while the healer's mana runs out. Heroes of the Storm turned from like really lethal fast kills to like do the epic play once the healer's mana runs out. And same with Overwatch. It sit there for 15 minutes shooting at the healers until the healers are gone, then do the epic play. Like, this is not how a fucking game should work. Your game is not a Marvel movie, and if you want it to be, fuck you. Like,
right, like the esports kind of like fake moment. Like, you're gonna remember this for the rest of your life when you got the big kill, when you saved the team, you saved the
game.
Yeah, Evo Moment 37,
every
as cool
game.
As it was, we got such a fucking lame culture of like everything's a celebration, everything is. That's like a brain epidemic. That's a brain epidemic on the internet in general. Like, have you ever been on Reddit and just seen someone say Happy Cake Day? They're celebrating the day that you registered your fucking account on a website. Like, kill yourself. Oh my god. All right, I'm sorry. You know, like, there's that, and then there's also like when you raid on Twitch, everyone's like, it's an 8-person raid, and they're like, raid, woohoo, everything's a fun event. Like,
right,
it's not
the raid
event.
train,
Shut
all
up.
that
like,
stuff.
The same 8 viewers in this other 8-viewer stream, you know, now they have 2 tabs of the same stream, and you said raid in all caps. It was really a good celebration.
Yeah. Dump in your paycheck, they'll say your name, and then you get the emoticon.
Yep. I like the barf. I like the barfing emoji. That's my favorite one for reaction to modern day content.
Yeah, it's all slop forever. It's all endless distractions forever. Don't ever actually ask for anything more. You get to play the game for 40 hours, and then at the last minute you get 1 kill, and that means you're the hero. You're the winner.
Yeah, exactly. It's whoever hides out for long. It's like, that's why I don't play I don't play a lot of modern games. I mostly stick to indie shit, and I know what I like, and I end up either through recommendations or through my own just finding cool shit that I like. Like, I don't know. I like run and guns, I like arcade stuff, and I like competitive FPS stuff, and I like co-op FPS, or like, did you ever play Synthetic? Synthetic was one of the best co-op games recent years. Like, that game fucking owns. It's so good. Synthetic with a K. It's on Steam. Like, it's basically you're just robot guys and you kill other guys.
Oh
like,
yeah,
nice.
I remember seeing the review for this.
It's a buddy cop game. It's a total buddy cop game. Like, it's you and a buddy going against the world, and it's fucking awesome. Like, that.
Love that.
Those kind of things are my favorite things.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of like what people tried to convince me Resident Evil 5 was.
Resident Evil 5 was passable because of the co-op. I don't think it was the best co-op game.
I don't know, man. I played it very recently co-op, and it was a fucking slog. It was horrible.
It doesn't hold up. No, that's what I'm saying. The game is shit, but anything is fun with a friend is my point.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Even shit. That's why MMOs exist. Even garbage is fun with people you like.
The game is fun because I can go into trade chat and talk, and someone responds to me.
Yeah.
Did you have friendly fire turned on when you were playing Resident Evil 5? You know, that's what makes it for me, is when I just fucking...
I mean, of course I did.
Spray haymaker.
Just like, at a certain point, I just wanted to be over, you know? As much fun as it sends Sheva flying 100,000 feet.
Yeah. And if she's AI, it's even worse. She'll eat your golden egg after she gets sneezed on. Fucking bitch. Yeah. Dude, you know, Resident Evil 6 was the same way. Like, that game's a turd, but like co-op, it's bearable because you're playing with a friend.
I agree completely. I've had a blast playing Resident Evil 6.
He's the big Resident Evil 6 defender.
Yeah, Resident Evil 6 is not a good game. It's not. It's not good, but it's fun with a friend because things are fun with friends.
Mm-hmm. You see, that's the one thing they should do is make a co-op Mercenaries. I think that's what's missing.
Absolutely. Well, this is what I was saying, RoboQuest. If you want a really good co-op shooting game it's not competitive with players, it's just fun and challenging, but with a buddy, fucking RoboQuest is amazing. And Synthetic as well. Like, those both scratch a really good itch.
Nice. Okay.
Very cool.
And then
there was a run and gun that I wanted to mention too, because we were talking about like cool games I played recently. It's not new. It came out a little while ago, but it's a run and gun called Tanuki Justice on Steam, and it's really fucking good.
Yeah, it's like retro style, right?
It's a retro styled one, but it's 16
Who
by
would've
9.
guessed?
And it has, what's up?
Said who would have guessed?
Yes.
Yeah, I know, right?
60 by 9.
I know.
More
Me and
Mario.
retro games.
More
It's
Mario
16
for
by
your
9, so
goal.
yeah, it is better Mario. It's called a better Mario aspect ratio. But it's really fucking good if you like running arcade style running guns. And like, here's a point actually to bring up about. I had a friend who generally has like, he's good at games. He like knows good games, but he also has like randomly terrible opinions. And I was talking to him. I was like, man, I love Tanuki Justice. That game's so good. Like someone gifted it to me on Steam, and I had like slept on it for like a year in my library. And I finally streamed it recently. And was like, this is my favorite indie run and gun ever. Like on Steam, period. Like this is the best arcade style, retro style fucking game of a run and gun genre that I've ever played. And he's like, I refunded it. And I'm like, why the fuck? I'm like, why did you refund? He's like, it's too short. I played it and I beat it in, an hour. I'm like, okay, that's the fucking point, jackass. Like, it's an arcade game. You shouldn't be spending more than an hour of like getting a 1cc. Like, getting a 1 credit clear of an arcade game should not be a longer than an hour endeavor. It should be like 20 to 40 minutes for a full playthrough, and that's perfect. It like strikes all the irons hot, and gets the fuck out. Like, that for me is perfect. And like, that's the thing with games in general, and this goes back to the crafting and open world shit, is that games are afraid to let them be over nowadays. Like, a video game is absolutely terrified of you being done with it and the game being over and you being allowed to put it down and say, I completely won. That's what it is. They want you stuck to it. Yeah.
I think it's also like they're afraid of you feeling unengaged. They want you to feel engaged constantly to the detriment of design.
Well, it's exploitative because you get OCD people who have to go down the Ubisoft achievement and they're just glued to it because they're like, oh, fuck, I got to do this and that. It's like you're getting manipulated and you think it's a game. Like, that's why I call Ubisoft games. They're just achievement checklist games. Those aren't video games. Those are achievement checklist games. That's it.
It's junk food for sure. Yeah,
I think Ubisoft design has done also permanent damage to gaming as a whole. The whole like,
especially the open world genre.
The open world genre has been irreparably fucked.
They perfected the brain cancer aspect of open world shit. Yes, terrible. Mm-hmm. It's a shame.
It is. It is a shame. It certainly is.
So this is what we mean when we say we love games but we hate games. It's like the cynical cash grab exploitative shit that's meant to manipulate morons versus is it a fun game?
Yes. Know? I mean, that is really what it is. That's what we're trying to say. Just in a very frank and open way, and a very, very truthful. Speaking our truth is what we like to call what we do on the show. We're speaking our truth, and we're speaking truth to power and other buzzwords. And the main point is games should just be closer to what I want and not, what they want.
Yes. Find your joy in games and then focus on it.
It's very difficult for any game to have more than, I think, 5 hours of actual enjoyable, entertaining content. It just kind of like...
That is bold.
I feel like it's spread out, so you feel like it's a consistently entertaining experience, but it's very, very rare to actually be playing a game and 100% of the time be like, smiling, open, wide-eyed, big grin the entire time.
When you said that, what I thought of was No More Heroes.
How much you enjoyed and love it.
Were you grinning the whole time you played that one?
How it's broken up by horrible mundanity and doing chores.
Game sections.
No, well, that's the point. I think it is about 5 hours of actual fun with the stupid cat bullshit. Yeah. But it is about 5 total hours of fun with play with the cat.
The boss fights.
Yeah, exactly.
You get to make your cat fat or skinny. The second one you make your cat skinny, and the first one you get to show him a little toy and fuck around.
Yeah,
but No More Heroes can get a pass because it's all part of it, man. Suda was all artistic. It was all intentional.
I love that. I always love that. The artistic, I did it on purpose because I'm an artist. Excuse is so fucking powerful.
See, you're supposed to feel like Travis, You're doing these chores so you can kill people. What the hell? This isn't normal.
That reminds me of. What that reminds me of is back when I was in college living in a shithole apartment and I had a huge stack of Domino's pizza boxes in my room and someone's like, why don't you pick those up? I'm like, it's an art statement. Like, that's like an Andy Warhol piece and you're telling me to clean it up? That's about how we eat food and shit, man. Like, don't you get it? Making a statement.
You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they left me alone. They left the whole house actually, shaking their head.
Thank God.
I got to play more video games and it was fun.
Well, we want to keep reminiscing on any more aspects of Remember a Game.
Keep your eyes peeled. We're gonna have the Billy Mitchell episode out this month, but hopefully this week. I am buckling down, and it's happening. And then I have another one planned afterwards. It's going to be top 100 Euro shit dev games, and that'll be a good like soapbox rant one because I can talk about why like Euro games aren't video games. It'll be fun.
Yeah,
very fun.
Euro Schmiegel, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, it's like if you've ever played a British game and if you've ever played a Euro dev game, you would know immediately. It's always you're picking up a bunch of pickups for 100 points. There's drippy shit dripping on you. There's arpeggiated music that's just like meandering arpeggiated bullshit. Everybody thinks Tim Follins is the best composer ever.
I'm talking about the
It's just like
Spectrum.
you know, this sucks. Anyway. But, no, he's fine. Tim Follins is good. He's more like he's utilitarian though, more than like creative. He's a talented by the numbers guy.
The John Carpenter of gaming.
The John Carpenter had a little bit more. I'd say more like the who's the guy that did the fucking Fantastic Four movie and the Roger Corman.
Yeah,
like he's like the Roger Corman of music. Just get her done, you know.
In it for the money.
Did you ever seen? He's just the like he'll just reuse stock footage and anything. Have you seen Munchie? If you've never seen Munchie, that's a good. Oh man, I don't even want to get into that.
He's got an insane amount of movies.
Highly recommend Munchie. Yeah, Corman. That's what I mean. He's a mercenary of movie bullshit. Like he just gets it done, and it's the same. Like there's something you appreciate there, but it's kind of schlocky bullshit. But like at the same time, you know, there's talent there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah, like I'm okay with. I mean, it's like why a bad game is fun sometimes. It's like why you play Alf on the Sega Master System. You see, there's a shine of something beneath all the dog shit.
What it was supposed to be.
Yeah, what you'd rather have, you know, which is dog animals pooping on you.
Sometimes.
I tell you, I told you, I know I told Nick this, but I actually saw AVGN at MagFest.
This is true.
Like he had just come in the door. He had literally just walked in the convention and was headed to the badge table. And I was the first person he interacted with. I saw him. Me and Matsu, my friend, were walking one direction, and I said, "Dude, that's James Rolfe." And he's like, "What? No way." I'm like, "Yeah, come here." And like we turn around, we double back. I walk double speed. I get right next to him. I'm walking next to him, and just like pretty loudly, so he hears. I go, God, I hate all these video games. I just wish a dog was shitting on me instead." And he like looks over at me and starts fucking laughing, and then I just left him alone. Like that was it. Like
you see, Sam, his whole gimmick as the angry video game nerd was he would rather drink diarrhea from an animal.
Yes, and play a bad game. And I think he's just into dog shit. I think he's just into the poop, personally.
There's that.
I want to make my next review series. Yeah, my next review series is the unironic animal shit fetishist. He's playing. He'll be playing a game and be like, "God, this sucks. I wish I could eat a dog turd instead." And I'll cut to the TV and he's playing like Super Metroid or like Link to the Past. He's playing a really good game. He just hates it and wants to poop.
Just wants to be eating animal feces. That's pretty good.
I mean, it's based on James Rolfe. It's a derivative of James Rolfe, but I think it's, you know.
Mm-hmm. We live in a post-AVGN world, you know. It's kind of all of our personas are kind of post that,
irreparably damaged.
Yeah. Everybody I think like the problem with the YouTube era or like with the internet in general is everybody thinks their opinion matters, which even ours don't, so...
No, but this is fun, isn't it?
No, we don't do it. I'm glad to have a mutually interested conversation with people that give a shit, and we are objectively correct about everything we say. And I'll kill you if you disagree.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You got to put it in perspective.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And the perspective is I'd rather have a dog shit on me. And that's but
yeah, the barrel of the gun as you open the door is the perspective.
Yes, exactly. Like every time the pizza man shows up at my door, there's a barrel of a gun coming through. They say, "Drop it, pal. I'm not paying. I'm not paying."
It's like, this is the third time this month, man. Come on. Like, you can't keep
GTA style.
Yeah, he forgets he's an NPC.
Video games make me do it.
Yeah. Perfect defense. Do you want to talk about Sweet Baby Inc? Because we pretty much covered it tacitly.
I think we ended up just going over it anyways. Yeah, but
yeah, we pretty much went over it. It's that forced diversity in games. Forced diversity in games is boring and dumb, and no one cares. You know, buzzer noise. Next. You know.
Yeah, whatever. There's a bunch of garbage. People trying to start.
It's apparently.
I feel like it's
the new Gamergate
manufactured. Yes, I feel like it's manufactured outrage from people who are like, "Oh, I remember like 10 years ago, I was really cool because I I was mean to random ladies in San Francisco, and I got a really big following. And now everyone thinks I'm lame and weird. So maybe if I could hop on this, that would be good, and I'd be popular.
And reignite
you know what I mean?
that flame again.
Trying to create some new figureheads and personalities that have no real personality or anything of interest.
Giving them the time of day is giving them marketing. There's no such thing as bad press, and focusing on idiots is just a waste of fucking time. So
yeah, just
aptly put.
Mutual media garbage. Look at me kind of thing.
Yeah, Zoe Quinn had a birthday party where it looked like a Chuck E. Cheese. Yeah, I don't care.
Excellent. Yeah, that was that. Let's see. Do we got any questions? Any Q&A from the viewers?
Oh yes, from the chat that I've
close it out.
so
I don't
good
think
at monitoring.
do, quite frankly.
Kim, pretend you don't know me and ask me something candid.
Yeah, as we close out, because we've been going for about 2 hours now, and
it's enough.
It's been a pleasure. Yeah. No, thank you for coming on, Marty.
Dude, thank you guys for having me. It's been a fucking blast.
Gotta trim this down to about an hour. All those nasty words are gonna make my screen turn green.
just gotta throw up a bleep up there, and they're all good.
Yeah, bleep it out. Leave the last syllable. Call him a bleeper. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, Marty, I do have a question about Remember of Game. Do you think you'll be covering any contemporary releases? Because Ion Fury, I noticed, was the newest sort of thing that you had featured on that series. Would that be more of a thing, or you just try and focus on?
I could do it. It would be an Earthbound style episode where it's the long form out of character rant, where it's just
actual analysis.
Yeah, but I make it fun. The Earthbound thing, the joke was, hey, I'm joking and shit posting, and then hey, I get serious. So if I can find a narrative format that follows the point of my critique and have fun with it, then absolutely.
Okay,
I just try not to I don't know about a ton of new games, and if I see them and they're boring, I just don't have that much of an opinion to go on and on about. So maybe a format for that could be a bunch of games. If I did a shit list of 20 games or something.
Yeah, a jam pack.
Right. Yeah. As far as one new game that I would want to talk about in a negative light or a positive light, I don't know. It's hard not to do that and retread over anything that's been said already too. There's not really been enough time in cultural consciousness for shit to stew and implications to be observed, and sometimes people look back, the pendulum's kind of swinging the other way with retro game memories. I feel like people are now sort of realizing that Half-Life 2 sucked. I know it's another gasp and clutching of the pearls, but I feel like it's become I know there's a lot of people that still think it's great, and there's people it's aesthetically amazing and but people are kind of now just realizing this game is kind of overrated and lame.
Yes. I've been seeing exactly what you're saying. People being maybe Half-Life 1 was actually the good one, and I just didn't play it because I thought it was ugly because I didn't know any better.
Exactly. Half-Life 1, one of the best fucking games ever made. Half-Life 2 is a 7 out of 10, competently put together, boring slog that is overrated as fuck. And that would be that would be probably the newest. As far as what I want to actually do that I have real plans on, Half-Life 2 is the newest thing I was thinking.
There you
go. I think
that's not really new at this point, but yeah.
Well, I feel like it'd still be a valid sacred cow slaughtering, because as many people as there are now turning around and being oh, Half-Life 1 was good, and there was a whole community, and there's all these mods I can play that were the starting points for all these developers and all these people who were really into games and would just make it because they cared about games and they loved it.
The dude that went on to make Crysis 2 was a Half-Life mod maker. A bunch of shit like that.
It's people who had genuine passion.
Quake and Half-Life 1 were the crucible of modern FPS gaming in a million fucking ways. And I mean, like I said, everything's on id Tech and Unreal Tech anyway. And those games, fucking Unreal Engine wouldn't exist if not for Unreal Tournament. And that Unreal Tournament wouldn't exist if not for Quake. So
yeah, Quake made Half-Life, Quake made Unreal. It's the starting point of everything.
Dude, Apex Legends is still on the Source Engine. To this day, id Tech is just used in every mine. Fortnite, obviously Unreal Engine, but every goddamn thing uses some.
There's a reason Bill didn't stick around. But what was I going to say? Right, yeah, Half-Life 2, I feel like that's the thing. Is when you look at it, Half-Life 1, it's people being oh, yeah, it was actually fun and interesting, and it made sense, and it told a story without bogging you down with shit. Everything was real time, etc., XYZ. And Half-Life 2, it's we've uncovered a new piece of Half-Life 2 lore. we've uncovered that Gabe farted at this meeting.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all like trivia. It's very, very trivial.
Yeah, Gabe's fart.
Yeah.
That is it. Oh, man. Half-Life 3 coming soon.
Half-Life 3 coming soon.
It's coming soon, guys. Keep your eyes peeled. All right. Well, thank you guys for having me on. I guess
yeah,
this
Marty,
is if
people want to find you, where can they find you at?
Oh, yeah. Twitch TV, twitch.tv/MartyNardo. One word, like Leonardo, but Marty Nardo. So,
yeah. Okay,
all right.
And yeah, if you want to find us, or Video Ditch Podcast at Video Ditch Pod on Twitter /X. Yeah, Super Sammy Com. Somebody stop me. Drop a like, comment, subscribe. Please, God, my livelihood depends on it. If you don't hit that button, I'm gonna fucking die.
This is a hobby for me. For him, it's quite serious.
It's true. It's dire.
Do it for Sam, guys. Come on. Don't make him beg.
Again, thank you, Marty. Hopefully, again, we will be seeing you at some point.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully, this is the new Remember game. All right,
I'll let you know as soon as it's released next year. I'm just kidding. This week, this month. It'll be soon, okay?